Good morning, friends. Good morning, we're back. After a while. We're finally back. Ugh, sorry for the longer delay. I don't even know what day it is. What is today? Wednesday? Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday. I was planning to be back like this weekend, but that didn't work out. And I was planning to be being back early this week, and that didn't work out. So I'm here now, though. I'm here now. For a little while, at least.
New high score!
What does high score mean? New high score, is that bad?
Just playing with the
What does
rope.
that mean?
Hey, Andy.
Did I break it?
I don't... More like myth and legend now. I've been gone forever. Like, did he ever exist? Was he ever really here? Is he just a figment of our imaginations this whole time? No. I'm a real boy. Real person. Just almost a week later than I wanted to be. It all really happened? It wasn't a dream? No. It was not. But we're here. We're here for a little bit. I'm gonna try to make some progress. I didn't really want to start anything new because my head is still rough, and I just, have to take things easy. But we'll see. We'll see. We're gonna get through, I think, the level 81 stuff today. I think we have a dungeon to get through and a couple of story quests to do, and then we'll figure it out from there. If I'm feeling alright, maybe we'll get some roulette stuff done. But I think over the next few days we're just going to be doing this. I don't think I'm streaming Sunday, so today through Saturday, I don't know what we'll do Saturday. Maybe we'll do this, maybe we'll go back to Front Mission 5 for a bit. And then next week we'll start a new game, since I finished Dragon Quest Builders before we left. I still have Front Mission 5 that I'm working on, and the rest of the franchise. Still have obviously Endwalker to get through. We're getting further along. It's already like almost to July, so I've got to get through Endwalker still, which I'm only in the level 81 quests, and then I've got to get through Dawn Trail. So we got some catching up to do. I think the rest of this year is just playing catch up for the most part. We can obviously fill in August for whatever we don't spend playing Final Fantasy 12. We can throw in some more 14. But yeah, who knows? I don't want to think too hard about it. It's too much. Andy, how are you though? Hey, Brian. How are you, friend? It's been a while. For me, not for you. I'm sure you've been around. How are things? How's life? What have you been up to?
Do as you must, then.
Hopefully good. Hopefully good.
Until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
Yeah, I mean the house sitting went okay. It is what it is. Gloria! Hello, friend. Welcome in. Thank you for 34 months. My goodness. 34 months is insane. You're the best. Thank you for that. That's crazy. It's crazy that it's been 34 months, and it's crazy that you've been here for 34 months. You've pretty much been here since the beginning. Like, you've been subscribing since the first month I've been streaming. I think it's you and Kyle both. Just killing it. Which I appreciate. Thank you. Brian, you got Spider-Man tickets. That's awesome. What is it called? Like a Brave New Day or something like that? Gotta love the OGs. I love everyone. But it is neat to look back and, like, pretty cool. Time to be flying. It do be flying. Do be flying. Wow. Well, I'm glad to have met all of you in one way or the other. Oda is currently drinking water in the bathroom, and I'm kind of concerned because that water's been up there for like 2 weeks now. I didn't know there was water left in there. She could have. Hopefully she doesn't die. She'll be fine. I'm being dramatic, but generally I don't recommend drinking water that's been left out for like 2 weeks. Lexi drinks out of the bird bath. Coda should be okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Look at her. There, she's playing. I think she likes the flavor more than her boring. Probably. I know. I was talking about you. I was worried about your water ingestion. I'm glad you're staying hydrated, though. Good job. What was I saying? Oh yeah, house sitting went fine. It's just all craziness. I say it went fine. It did not go that fine. To be honest, it's just a mess. Coda, I love her to death, but she is honestly like the most anxious dog. It's insane. She just could not sleep at all. I think she was afraid of the air conditioner. So, they live in like there's like it's really just like a double wide trailer, like a permanent double wide trailer. I don't know if you've ever seen, if you live in the Midwest, you live in the South house, and they have, you know, an air conditioner and their air conditioner is going like crazy all the time because the house doesn't have a ton of great insulation. But like at night, every time the air conditioner kicked on, Coda would just freak out, like full on shaking. I think she thought it was thunder because it had been storming and had been raining, and I think she just thought it was like thunder constantly. And so she just would not sleep until the sun came out and until I was up all day, and then she would sleep on the couch next to me all day. And I'm like, what's the difference? Why at night are we freaking out and during the day we're perfectly fine? That doesn't make any sense. Could you please work it out? Yeah, I'm talking about you. So that was my life for the first like 3 days. Then I tried in those 3 days pretty much everything that I could think of, right? I had like 3 fans going to try to drown out some of the sound. I had the TV on at like nearly full blast, playing like infomercials, because of course it's like 3 in the morning. I found a channel that only does like movie marathons or whatever. So for like 2 of the nights it was Harry Potter, and then for one of the nights it was like Indiana Jones, and then they just started playing like random other movies. So I think I watched Independence Day. Anyway, whatever. It was all kinds of it was just like random movies, and so I had that turned on all the way. And then of course the commercials, it was actually insane. At one point I was up anyway, so I was timing it. It was like 1-to-1 like movie to ads. It was insane. They would play like 6 minutes of a movie, fade to black, 6 minutes of ads, back to the movie for 6 minutes. It was crazy. I was like, how is this a thing? I guess nobody cares. It's 3 in the morning, but how can that be profitable? Who's paying for that ad time? I don't know. Anyway, so that was my life for and then the last night I like slept with the lights completely on. I was like, maybe she's just, because she is afraid of the dark. She doesn't like the dark. So I was like, maybe if I just turn the lights on, she'll be okay. She was not okay. And then we moved out to the couch, and for whatever reason, like going from the den to the couch, she was more calm. But I don't know if you've ever tried to sleep with 2 dogs, 3 cats, and a human on a couch before. It's not fun, nor is it comfortable. So that's pretty much how I slept the rest of the time there, because it was the only way that I could get any sleep whatsoever. And then I'd oftentimes wake up with a cat on my head, or licking my face, or a dog like trying to burrow next to me on the couch that we're trying to sleep. It was a lot. It was a lot. Anyway, and then I got back, and of course it was storming again. So the first night, 2 nights back, I slept in my closet again. I was just like white, and my head was killing me. It's still killing me. I'm sorry, I'm just whining. But anyway, that's where I've been. Saturday we had the Spurs game 5. The Spurs lost again, so the Knicks beat us in the finals. That's sad. Sunday was our anniversary, so we just hung out and ate some food, and then she had to go home. And then Monday, Tuesday, I was finally like able to sleep a little bit. Not much. So here I am. I was like, I can't do it anymore. I get bored. So we're gonna do this for a little bit today. Thank you for listening to me whine and complain. I do appreciate it. I'll be back. I'll go back to being positive now. I think. But that's where I was. Thanks for the whine. Some pretty solid complaints in there. It just sounds like whining, right? Like I slept so much. I think the most of it is that, and it's always been this way with my head, especially, is that like I can almost always force myself through it, right? Like I can always push through whatever it is and like do what needs to be done and like exist and be somewhat productive. Unfortunately, it always catches up with me, like always. And so as much time as I put into like forcing myself to do things, sometimes I spend like an equal amount of time or more trying to like recover, essentially, because my body just starts to shut down. Like my head just starts to shut down. It's very, it is what it is. So it doesn't just sound like whining. It sounds like a university experiment to test the limits of human stress. Like I don't know how they do it. They do it every day. I don't know how they do it constantly. Like I guess for them it's just routine. But there's so many animals, and of course I have a mild allergy to cats. So when one of them wants to sleep in my head and I wake up and my eyes are all puffy and I'm like, what's going on? Well, I have cat dander all in my face. Sounds like it's easier without Coda 2. She's the ultimate. Yeah, I think everything, you know, everything's easier with sleep. Everything's easier when you're not tired. So yeah, that for sure was not helpful. It's really just distressing when my dog is the most difficult part of all that. They always seem to find the person that's allergic to them. Truly, cats are something else. They are indescribable at times. But yeah, that's that. And then of course I had, in between there, I had to like take one of their cats. Bevo is like 16 or something, and he's in like kidney failure, so he has to get fluids multiple times a week, and I couldn't do it by myself, so I had to take him to the vet and get him taken care of. And then I had to come out here to check on Shadow, to check on my own cat. He's fine. He's like whatever. Anyway, there's lots of little things that add up to a big thing. Positive note. I got 4 new G Fuel flavors. I don't remember what they all are. This one is a fruity black tea. It's Jujutsu Kaisen themed. I've never tried it, so we're about to try it right now. I got one that's like lime and cactus flavor. I think that's the one I'm most like hesitant about. But I got that one. And then I got an orange dreamsicle flavor. Seems pretty good. And I have no idea what the 4th one I got was. No clue. I don't remember. It's in there. I just know where it is. But we're gonna try the fruity black tea. I will make another pot of coffee in caffeine solidarity. Thank you. Thank you. It smells alright. Kind of smells like, have you ever had like the powdered tea mixes? Kind of what it sounds like.
You know.
Yeah, it tastes like one of those powdered tea mixes. Fine, with a little bit of like fruit punch Kool-Aid thrown in there. I'll drink it. Not bad.
As the chaos spread, the star seemed doomed to unravel, and yet
They recently reformulated their line, their product line. G Fuel, like, you know, most caffeine drinks or most anything, like drinks like that, they leave like a residue behind. Or, you know, like some of it is just not water soluble. Some of it's, you know, just in there. It doesn't fully dissolve. Well, they reformulated to make more of it dissolvable. And I do feel like it's less flavorful now. I think G Fuel recommends that you mix it with like 12 to 16 ounces of water. And I've always mixed it with 32. And even then it was like, because I drink it throughout the day. I don't like to drink a ton of caffeine all at once. So I like make it in the morning when I start stream, and then I drink it through the afternoon. Usually it takes me like 3 hours. But regardless, it feels like lately the reformulated stuff has not been as potent, for good or for ill. I'm not sure. What is your pot size at, Andy? I think a scoop of G Fuel is 140 milligrams of caffeine. So I essentially spread that out from like 11 to 2-ish, 11 to 3-ish sometimes. Some days I'll in stream and I won't even have finished it yet. That's usually not good because that means I'm not drinking enough water in most cases. But I think there's like 80 to 90 cups or milligrams of caffeine in a standard cup of coffee, like 8 ounces of coffee. Anyway, why is it so hot in here? Oh, because my fan's not on. Because the power went out. Because of the storms. Alright, hold up. There we go. Yeah, buddy. Now we got a nice, cool breeze. That's lovely. Go ahead and kick the overhead fan up to 6 too. Yeah.
Do as you must then.
All right, we're good.
Until the heavens fall. Until our last
Until the heavens fall. Until our last breath. Guys, just to get to hear this over and over again. Oh, that's cool. Well, that was weird. I don't know if that was intentional. Was that faster song? Is this just a slowed down version of that? Are they vice versa? I don't know. Did you hear it bleed into it itself? That was cool. Again, I'm not sure if that was how that works. It might be the same song. Hi, Coda. I know you could say hi too. Everyone says hello to you. I didn't miss this though. I didn't miss you whining as soon as I started. I've been sitting here yapping for 20 minutes. 17 minutes, and I just pick up my controller and now you're like, oh, nope, you need to go out. Oh, interesting. I think you must have got lucky on the timing, but yeah, it's the same song. I think I did get lucky on the timing. That was really cool. It like blended directly into the lyrics. That was neat. Or the lyrics blended directly in. I refuse. I'm not gonna let you bully me anymore, Coda. Yes, I am. Can't see her giving me the side eye, but she's there. Giving me the side eye. Tales of loss and fire and faith. Those are the lyrics. Look at Paladin Dion, almost level 70. It's level 68. Andy Gloria, sorry about Monday. I really wanted to try. But as I laid there and hours were ticking by and I was like, I can't move. I just couldn't do it. I don't even know where I am. Okay, well no, I do know where I am. Apology rejected. I was thrilled that you made the right choice. I just love when friends cancel plans. It's the best. No. No. Oh, this is what happens when I switch from Xbox to... Yeah, that's what happens when I switch from Xbox to PC or PC to Xbox. We're good though. No harm, no foul. Yeah, we're good. I've definitely overwritten a set before, and that was super frustrating to fix. I do appreciate your understanding. I feel bad. Okay. So, oh goodness, that's expensive. I forgot I can just return there. So what were we doing? Where are we at? So we went to Old Charlian. Let's back up a little bit more, I guess. In 5.5 and 5.55, or at the end of 5.55, we essentially reached out to the council on Old Charlian to assist us with preparing for what could possibly be like the end, right? The bad things are still happening all over the place. We were trying to get some assistance, and the council pretty much said, shove it, right? They said, no, you suck, we're not helping you, blah, blah, blah. And so we didn't know why, and we decided that in order to find out, we were going to come to Old Charlian ourselves to discover what's going on, to find out what the council knows. Most of the Scions, all of the Scions have some connection to Old Charlian. And so it just made sense. We were all going to use our connections to figure it all out. So that's what we did. And it didn't really help much. We've discovered some things, like the council has been ordering the gathering of resources from all over the world, all over the source, and has this huge like city underground, which is pretty neat. But it seems like they're preparing for something. It's seemingly preparing for the end of the world. There's a lot of like flood and Noah's Ark allegory going on in this one. Old Charlian was founded by someone who like sailed across the ocean and was caught in a big storm, and then like hit a mountain and populated the island here. I don't remember his name, but that was very Noah-like. And then we have this whole situation where we're hoarding a bunch of stuff. We're like gathering plants and animals and foods and stuff like that that's going to be resilient, that can like last possibly beyond the end times, which is very Ark-like. So that's what it kind of seems, is like Old Charlian is preparing for the end in their own way, in a way that like they know what's going to happen. So that's kind of what we're getting at now, or I think what we're discovering is that the council knows something that they shouldn't, or they know something rather that they're not telling us, and we don't know why and we don't know how, but really that hasn't stopped us from figuring anything out. So in our first series of quests, we talked to a bunch of people around Old Charlian and discovered what I just iterated, and then we were found out. And so the council didn't kick us off the island, but they more or less banned us from doing any more research. So that kind of sucked. And then in the next series of quests, we went off to another place called Thavnair. And Thavnair was like one of the closer areas that have been affected by the towers. There's a tower on Thavnair, and they apparently did like some trade and had some direct communications and direct lines tied to Old Charlian. So we went out there and more or less just discovered that more about the towers. They're researchers. I don't think what were they called? They weren't alchemists, were they? They were something else. Anyway, I'm going to call them alchemists. They're architects, they're designers, they're scholars. They discovered a way to fight back, essentially stop the enthrallment that the towers are causing, which is pretty cool. So the head researcher went out there and tested it herself, and it worked. However, Fandaniel showed up and like took her to be part of the tower, and they are in fact being used as giant batteries. Just more confirmation that Fandaniel and Xenos, or the Asians, pretty much it's just Fandaniel at this point. He's using the worshippers, he's using like the native population as like batteries and as summoning conduits so that he can enthrall their primals, or icons as the Garleans call them. And that's pretty much it. The last thing we figured out, I think, was that Thavnair is actually being ruled by a dragon. Who would have thought it? The ruler, the person that oversees and has been in charge all these years, is a dragon, and he's been using the satrap as a puppet, more or less. He's just a puppet ruler. He's the face that he puts on so that nobody else knows. And so we kind of agreed to work with each other to discover what all's going on, and that's where we're at. So we're about to go into the tower, I think. I think that's the biggest thing, is that we're going to use the cool little devices that the scholars made for us, and we're going to take a team into the tower and try to beat them up. So yeah, that's it. Does it make you feel better if I say I don't feel bad about going to Mexico? Oh, are you talking about for the 2 weeks at the beginning of July? You shouldn't feel bad for that. I feel like there is a pretty big difference between giving someone, you know, 2 weeks head notice, like 3 weeks heads up. Like, hey, I just walked right past that place. I'm not gonna be here, and canceling plans on the same day. I don't like my acceptance of plans that come with an asterisk or come with a caveat. You know what I mean? Me personally, I do appreciate the understanding. I just don't like to be seen as unreliable. That's all. Yeah, I think I summed up everything that I remember. I'm sure I'm missing a lot in between there. A lot happened and it was like weeks ago, so I apologize. I think that's about as caught up as I can be. Oh, I have mail. Andy, did you send me mail for something? I don't even know where the nearest mail is. I don't know. That was pretty comprehensive. Thanks. It's Paladin gear. We love us some Paladin gear. Okay. Well, I have stacks of Black Mage stuff for Broom too. Awesome. I think there's one right next to the... Oh, it's down there. Scholar's Harbor. Thank you. Three new letters. Wow, lots of stuff. It's just like a whole new set. Thank you, Andy. You'd think they could expand the number of slots by at least one, you know? So you can do it in 2 instead of 3. I mean, I'm sure the idea isn't that you get your whole... wow, look at that. Everything but the earring. You really were. Boom. I didn't even look to see what that went up. Hold on. I gotta look. We're at 269. 285. Wow. Still gonna glamour it. I like our Paladin set for right now. Plus, this set has the cool weapon that Andy made for us. Chloe. Alright, cool. That should be everything. I just did that. Okay, cool. Back to Dragoon, because I can't do quests here. Oh, friends. It's gonna be a day. We're gonna get through this as quickly as possible. I really hate to cut anything short. I am already, like, in so much pain. Okay, in the dark of the tower. It's just 3 quests. Okay, if we could get through, we could just get through these 3 quests. All right, that'll finish the 81 stuff. Got a dungeon to get through, and then just a couple more. Don't push yourself too hard. I'm gonna try not to. It's just one of those things that, like, I don't think I'm gonna make anything worse. It's just I want to just getting through it is the hard part, I guess. But yeah, I didn't want to be gone forever again. Proud glances at you with expectant eyes. Have you popped some ibuprofen? Yeah, I've taken Excedrin actually earlier this morning. Otis crying. You really need to go out? As she runs towards the door. Okay. I'm sorry, friends. Sorry for me. I'm sorry for my dog. I'm sorry for life. I'll be right back. I'm gonna let her outside. Alright, we're back. Since there has been progress in both investigations, shall we share the findings from our respective locales? Weird. Anyway, sure. Let's share our findings. I guess we're gonna get a little synopsis, maybe. I didn't need to say any of that. Or maybe I did. That's a running theme with this, isn't it? Where I say a bunch of stuff or ask random questions just before I press the A button and get all the information that I speculated on 30 seconds before.
Your time in Safnir has certainly been eventful. In my opinion, carrying out Vitra's request and assaulting the Tower of Zot should be our highest priority.
Okay, never mind. There wasn't much of a
I
synopsis.
agree. While I still have questions concerning the Forum and their grand undertaking, we have all but exhausted our avenues of investigation. Simply pressing them any harder on the subject will almost certainly result in our expulsion. Therefore, I suggest
You're just that in tune on the game's exact wavelength, maybe.
by way of a letter to Master Matoya, then make our way to Thavnair.
I wonder, even with the protection these talismans afford us, what can we hope to achieve once inside the tower? According to Orenvold and Frodola's report, they were unable to free the Emolja. Worse, their attempts triggered the tower's defenses, which led to a summoning of Luna Afrit.
Yeah, but we can beat the summoning up.
What does it tell us that the Spires even have such defenses?
That they can be stopped. Or taken down,
Pulling
or...
a prisoner from the wall is fatal. Thus, the direct approach is doomed to failure from the outset. Any further measures to dissuade such actions seem unnecessary. Unless, of course, there is a way to free the prisoners without killing them. Then it stands to reason that any intruders will be met with overwhelming force.
I know this is completely irrelevant, given the situation. I've asked this before. What are... Well, not this specifically, but with Mikote, right? They have the ears on the top of their head. What are Y'shtola's feathers attached to? Do they also have human ears? Have we ever seen a Mikote with a shorter haircut? We have, haven't we? They also have... Do they... Man, now I'm... Now I don't remember. Because those are... I assume those are like feathery earrings. But are they attached to human-like ears? Are they just there? I don't know.
The towers appeared throughout the world in but the twinkling of an eye. 'Twas by magical means.
They don't have human ears. I didn't think so.
A spire thus conjured must needs be maintained. And I suspect an arcane catalyst, some manner of core, doth
Because
lie within.
in the last expansion, when we were in the floating city with the sin eaters and stuff, there was that little Mikote kid that like was out there throughout the whole expansion that we found like washed up on the beach, right? He obviously didn't have human ears. Could be braided into her hair somehow. That's probably the best.
Destroy
That's the best
core,
explanation,
and
I
the
think.
power ceaseth to be, thus liberating the captives without harm.
So we can hope. And I would prefer to enter the tower with a working theory than with no plan at all.
Assuming Y'shtola's reasoning is correct, the chances of the defenses remaining dormant are small to none. Any primals will have to be dealt with, and defeating one will likely only lead to the summoning of another. Our every victory will only compound the prisoner's suffering.
May we not then divide our forces? Those proficient in healing will focus on sustaining the captives. That duty can be covered by Urianger, Kryl, Y'shtola, and myself. The remaining scions will proceed with the search for the core. Admittedly, this strategy puts both parties at greater risk, but it should bolster our chances of saving the Arcosode.
Yeah, it means I don't have a healer.
Margin.
Are you sure Alphino is in the right group? What if you say, Alize, she knows a healing spell or two. Are you sure Alphino is in the right group?
If If you're to fight primals, then you'd best have at least one healer with you.
And I am more than happy to fulfill that role. I found wielding
This will be our
Sage's armament
first.
to be rather intuitive, and look forward to testing them against a more challenging foe.
This is like our first battle experience with the Sage, at least in the
It
story.
seems we have a plan. All that remains is to carry it out. I will inform Rads at Han of our movements, so let us make our preparations and regroup near the tower.
The military post in what's left of the Hamsa hatchery should serve as a convenient staging point.
That sounds perfect. And remember, the experimental aetherite at the confluence is there for those who need it, so there's no excuse for being late.
No excuse, says Cryo. Except everyone's going to be sick immediately coming out of the teleporter, so... Or coming out of the crystal. Okay. That was fun. Goodness, that's expensive, isn't it? Why is it so much to get there? Where even is this on the map? Oh, we're out here and we're okay. So I mean, I guess it makes sense why it's so far, but that is pricey. I think I automatically use an aetherite ticket for anything that's over like 600 or something like that. So yeah, I have 66 tickets remaining. Small price to pay to save the world. True, but you'd think they could cut me some slack or something. Oh, that's right. We can't fly. I think I found that the fastest way... Oh, yeah. Sorry about that, Kieran. That was my fault. I think the fastest way to get up to this point is to the... Actually... Where am I going? Yeah. Fastest way is to go up the beach. This is where we discovered, or this is what led to our learning that walruses and seals and sea lions are neither bipedal nor a quadrupedal, they're pedipedal. Is cool, I guess, if you care to know that. I cared to know it, so. You're so slow. Can I go up that ramp? Yeah. Yes. Is there a reason to? Probably not. I'm just happy whenever the Gwibber shows up. Yeah, he's pretty cool. I'll be honest, I don't really like the Gwibber design at all. I don't like they look like squat little wyverns. Like their horns, the horns on their head are longer than their front arms. I think of all of the raid mounts so far, I think the Gwibber is actually my least favorite. I just like the music. Oh yeah, the mount music is always cool. I agree. Sometime in the wait between Dawn Trail and Evercold, we're gonna have to farm for the mounts. It's weird. Doesn't I have I don't know. Showing me that YouTube has a message on the thing, but they're all showing up that I know of. Ah, our friend of Eorzea. We've been expecting you. You and yours will lead the mission into the tower, I'm told. The warding scales will be delivered soon. Till then, please stand by at the boat we have readied. When your fellows arrive, I will direct them to join you. We pray for your safety and success. Thank you. Pick up. Okay. Anybody been playing anything fun over the last couple weeks? I did beat Buko Park. A fun little game you can beat in a few hours. It's nothing too crazy. I beat Star Wars Outlaws. Pretty fun game. I started 9 Souls. It's a nice little Metroidvania platformer. Brittany and I are almost done with It Takes Two. Good game. Alright, Alizé. If this is the future of Aetheryte travel, I think I'll stick to boats. Yeah, she's still sick. Aye, no warning. How emphatic could have prepared me for that. They not drink the juice? On account of which we are a little late, but fighting fit, mostly. Haven't been playing much, no? Been reading anything? I know you were reading something before I left. My friends, permit me to thank you for accepting this mission. Okay, so Varshan here is actually a mechanical, a literal puppet. So last time we played, I was like, okay, this guy is for sure the satrap, right? Like, it's just a front, you know, he's a child, but that's not anything weird. There's plenty of cultures that use like child rulers. And I just assumed he was the satrap, right? Because he was always where he was supposed to be. He was like sending messages and whatever. And then we get, when we met we went to the actual palace, there was another man there who was acting as the satrap. And I was like, oh, okay, I was wrong. And then it was revealed that the dragon was the actual satrap, like the actual ruler. And this kid is actually just like, there's a word for it. Man, I can't remember what it's called. Somebody please smarter than me help me. He's more or less just a puppet. He's like a mechanical interface, right? And he can project a piece of his soul. One of his eyes, one of the dragon's eyes has been infused into this creature. I say creature, that's not fair. He's not really alive. Man, there's so many other words that are running through my head that I can't think of. It's not like Golem. It's not... Facsimile is closer, but not what I want. Machination is not closer. Anyway, I don't remember. So you said, so I read Rewire, a book about neuroplasticity, now reading Do Hard Things, also with some brain science. Oh, fun. We'll switch to fiction once I'm on vacation. Got it. Well, I hope you enjoyed the books. It's really gonna bug me that I cannot. I mean, Facade, I guess, works. This guy's like a facade, right? He's not a... Okay. You must be... We should still call you Varshan, I suppose. Indeed. It would not do to confuse our soldiers. Very well, then. Rewire was great. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Anyway, enjoy your meeting. I will be here for a bit, as long as I can be. For our part, we are humbled that you should see fit to entrust us with your warding scales. Please convey as much to His Excellency. One for each of you. Please accept them with my blessings. Our thanks. With these, we can go anywhere with the blessing of light can go. Not only for this operation either, but all the ones to come. We could finally break your monopoly on primals. I've been waiting for this day. I wouldn't mind carrying on as before, you know. In that case, they're all yours from now on. In that case, they're all yours from now on. But I'm afraid we can't let you retire just yet. You're the Scion's brightest star, after all. I don't know about that. If everyone is amenable to it, let us review the strategy for good measure. As previously agreed, we will divide into 2 groups. Dion and his band will break through the tower's defenses and locate its core. Meanwhile, the rest of us will tend to the prisoners who will doubtless want for healing due to the duress of repeated summonings. The primals which the tower bringeth forth shall be deities of Thavnarian myth. As we have no prior experience with such foes, pray exercise the utmost caution when confronting them. We commence the operation at your word, my friend. For the people of Thavnar, nay, the entire world, we must prevail. Thavnar's being really, really cool about letting us test all this stuff on their tower. You know, if anything goes wrong, they're like ground zero. NPCs for sure. And then, yeah, this team's perfectly fine. We don't need 2 Dragoons. Register for duty. Average item level 500. I don't know what my item level is already. Doesn't really matter, does it? Oh, I'm at 525. It says right there. All right, let's go. Commence. Commence. The Tower of Zot. If anybody's out there and cares to spoil it for me, does Thancred or Y'shtola ever get their connection to Ether back? I guess Y'shtola never lost it, right? Y'shtola lost her sight. Thancred lost his connection to Ether. Do they ever get those things back, or is it like a permanent? I really don't mind spoilers in this case. I could see it going either way. I'm guessing not. It's kind of like become part of their character. But, not that I know of. All right, cool. Thank you. These guys are pretty strong, aren't they? Forgot to use my star call. My star diver ability. That was a little bad. Who's healing me? I'm full health. Armored, a Zot armored fiend. Does that imply that the armor is of Zot, or that this guy's from Zot, or what does that imply? Is it Zot armored, or is it like an armored fiend from Zot? I like how we're like pretty much 8-manning this thing. Oh, I pressed the wrong button there. Goodbye. Since a great surge of ether, as if a summoning hath begun. Oh, here's the maggot. Here are the maggot sisters. Look, those beauty masks. It's the Manusia come to life. They'll focus on sustaining. Whoa. Okay, they're branching off. The rest of you might keep going onwards and upwards. Get Star Dove. Button, 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 button. Let's go. I will say it is nice going from AoE to single target because my AoE already applies my Chaos Thrust, or not my Chaos Thrust, my Disembowel, which is nice. Because then I don't have to start my cycle over again. I essentially just start it like right in the middle of the rotation. Pretty nifty. Oop. About to summon my Chocobo friend. He told me no. No Chocobo is allowed in the Tower of Zot currently. This is pretty cool. One thing I would like to get better at is not just like tunnel visioning on my keys. I'm constantly like looking for cooldowns. I feel like it's kind of unnecessary for in a lot of ways. The cooldowns are going to be there regardless. Like, I can obviously check on occasion to see if something is up, but my standard like GCD rotation probably doesn't need to. What the heck was that? I just got roasted. Holy crap. Oh, maybe it's those things. Maybe I was standing too close. What the heck is that? Am I supposed to stop that from getting hit? Or what? Oh, maybe it just travels in that direction? Until it gets there? Anyway, I don't know. Thanks, Alphino. Appreciate it. Like that. I assume I shouldn't be stopping it. Maybe just staying away from it. That was cool. I mean, that's just damage I can't avoid, because I think other people take damage too. By other people, I mean not people that, you know, the NPCs, the other party members. Oh, how am I supposed to know which is which? Seems like the characters knew. They were already like standing in the right place. Am I supposed to know how? Maybe it's something about what's on the ground or the thing hovering over it. Try to keep an eye out if I see it this time, but you see, like, I don't see any difference between that one and the last one, so you have chosen Defiance. Bye, Mega Sister number 1. Tempered Imperial. Oh, they look frightening. They look tempered, all right. Draconian Fury. Onic Thrust. Wearthin Torment. Rinse and repeat. Now we can switch to single target. I think the rule generally is 3 or more you want to AoE, and 2 or less you just single target everything down. Oh, big stab. Level 81 Zot Umbral. He's freaky looking, isn't it? I don't know why I did that, that was stupid. I know it looked like I was using a lot of AoE there, and it's because I was, but some of my opening rotation includes like big AoE hits, so I'm not doing anything outside of my normal rotation. Hyper-tuned. Zot hyper-tuned. Okay, so everything in here is just Zot, 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 Zot. Zot Deathclaw, Zot Deathclaw, Zot hyper-tuned. Oh, that thing looks creepy, doesn't it? Probably should have saved that when he was closer. And it is what it is. What to do for it now? Don't really like this camera angle, but I'm like right up against this wall. I guess I can move it. Is it worth picking any of this stuff up? You know what? No one else is going to, so we might as well. They've been awfully busy taking prisoners. Seems that way. Really like the angle that we're at. Anyway, it's still hitting, so it's fine. I've always heard umbral as like an adjective, never as a noun. Or maybe I've just been misattributing it to an adjective when it could be a noun. Like something is umbral, right? I didn't know something could be umbral. Okay, that... I don't know, that didn't really clarify anything at all, actually. Anyway, hey guys, or something, I don't know. My turn. Pretty long dungeon, isn't it? We get it. Thanks, Thinker. They're yours. Where are we going? Oh. This way, I suppose. Here's the second Mega Sister, Sandaruva. Let's get some water first, or some liquid. Go, Thinker, go. I think Alphino just like opened with his. I think Thinker just opened with the limit break, which like is fine, I suppose. Will not steal away our prosperity. Are these gonna blow up on us? Oh, so they are. Good thing I followed my NPC's advice to not be there. These are some really cool attacks. Why are my allies just standing in that? Oh, now I'm standing in it. Oh, are we all like... Are we being stunned? We hear it, we heed the call to defend the tower. Oh, good. They're all attacking. Oh, interesting. How did we know it was this one? They all seem to be, or maybe one wasn't dancing, or maybe they were all dancing except, I don't remember, or I don't know. Should have been more observant, but I'm feeling it's going to be difficult for me today. Okay, time stopping. Alphino has been displaced. Does this just happen to each of us in turn? Is that what is going on? Yeah. Yeah. I think that's exactly what's happening. I don't think there's anything you can do about that. I think when she uses that ability, it's just... Okay, let's try to see which one is which. Okay, they're all dancing, they're all doing something except this one, right? Yeah, okay, solved it. Look at that, we're not completely helpless. That's something. Mostly helpless, but not completely helpless.
You underestimate me.
If I alone cannot expel you. Yeah, go join your sisters, and then we're gonna have to do all this. Oh, now we're fighting robots. Zot Predators. Sorry, my mouth doesn't work. The rest of my body, really. Wait. Big hits. Oh, hello. A Zot Rotor. Is that because he's on wheels? What little one? We just went out, baby. We're not doing it again. You're okay. By Zot Rotor. Zot gunship. 2 Zot gunships. Wow, look at them. I think this is kind of cool in the sense that, like, we know that Fan Daniel has been assimilating all of these guys into the tower. So it is kind of neat that we're seeing a lot of enemies that we've seen before. You know? Like, they're slightly recolored. Some of them do look different or a little bit more mutated, but it makes sense that we're seeing enemies from all over the place because they are being repurposed, you know, or used essentially. Kind of reminds me of Dungeon Crawler Carl in a lot of ways. That's exactly what happened there. Like all these resources across the world were repurposed to build this dungeon. Mark II Zot Colossus. Okay. Have it in the Mark I. I really would like to just pull that wheeler or rotor over here too, but okay, it's probably for the best that we take things slow. I'm on this weird like situation where I don't want to pull too much or do too much because I don't know. I don't want to go beyond my limit today. At the same time, I'm like, man, it just kind of need to be done sooner than I want to be. That makes me sad. It's like one more big fight, and then we probably fight all 3 sisters at once. Wow, look at that. Zot armored weapon, 2 Zot Colossus. This is Colossi? 100% the Colossi, right? What angle do I want to be at to hit all these? Not this one, that's for sure. This one is the right one. Or maybe we just take them one-on-one. can't line up a good hit, then it really just doesn't make any sense to go AoE. I was hitting some of them on occasion, but then they'd shift around and do an attack, and then I have to move. A waste. So I think in this instance, even though there was more than 2 of them, we should just single target them down. Alright, now we have to fight all 3 Magus Sisters at once, I'm sure. Or we'll fight her and then phase 2. No matter the cost, we must protect the tower. I think she's the oldest of the 3. Oh, wow, they actually are called the Magus Sisters? I've been calling them that as a joke this entire time, but I mean the theming and stuff was all there, right? It was like very on the nose, but I didn't know they were going to come out and actually call them the Magus Sisters. Cool. Cinderuva, yeah. So I imagine it'll be a phase 1, phase 2 situation where we'll fight her first, and then the other 2 sisters will join her, and then we'll fight all 3 of them at once. I suppose we should have expected a 3rd sister. Yeah, we knew about them. Defeat the Magus Sisters. Okay, well now they're not even... Well, now it's just obvious. There they are. Join with me, sisters. That did not take long. Whoa. Okay. Playing like DDR now. Where's my feint? There it is. I have you now. Hey, could we maybe... Hey, don't stand on the tank buster. Why are my NPC friends standing right on top of the tank buster? I don't quite understand the theory behind that. Are we supposed to be focusing the other 2 by any chance? The NPCs certainly aren't. Looks like they're all focusing her, but there are 3 of them. I kind of feel like we should be... Whoa. I don't know, I jumped over that. The Elephant Mega Sisters, yeah. This is cool, though.
Let's give them a show.
I probably shouldn't be using AoE. Again, though, I don't really know if it's smart to focus the big sister down first. The oldest sister. I feel like I should probably take care of the others first, but it's like I should get hit by that. If I didn't get hit by that, I should have. Huh. How are we gonna manage this? Oh. Wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. One time as off tank, I didn't realize the tank buster would double pop, so I went to the side, it popped once, then I walked back to the group and wiped 90% of my party. Nice. Good old double pop. You're mine. Lots of things on the ground. Now we're stacking. Now I'm fainting. I didn't really do much to... Oh, somebody's limb breaking. Okay, well there's one down. And it looks like we're focusing in Mindaruva next. I think. Well, no, Thancred. Okay, maybe it's just me. I thought Alizé was focusing on Mindaruva, but then Thancred and well, Thancred was for sure attacking Sandaruva. I'm gonna get hit by that, and I deserve it. Yeah, I absolutely deserve that. Sorry, friends. I don't even know what rotation I'm on. Let's just start over. I'm gonna go ahead and use my own heal because... Oh. Okay, somehow we won. I don't know what we did. Level up. Woohoo! We just have to defeat 2 of the 3 of them. Were we attacking the other one and I didn't know it? I don't know. Whatever, we did it. Hooray! Monstrorum fork? Is that, I mean, that's probably the upgrade. Look at me, I got some boots. Boots. Shoes. Shoes. I wish they were a trial instead. Magnus Sisters were trial. I agree. That definitely should have been a trial. I kind of expected to fight more of them. The Havnarian gods and trials.
Is everyone all right?
We fortified the captives with what magics we could. Have the defenses been disabled? All appears quiet for the moment.
I don't know. Maybe.
The lower floors were disturbing enough, but this place feels wrong. The ether is heavy and thick, like wading through a quagmire.
I wonder what Ishtola is seeing right now.
I believe we stand in the tower's beating heart. What sayest thou, Ishtola?
Wow, thanks. Maybe we'll get to find out.
I see it. Ether siphoned from the land runs up
Man,
through the spire.
sometimes it really
flowing
is
to a
like I'm
single
writing this
point.
game.
This is the core we seek. Yet something is off. As large as this structure is, it siphons far more ether than is required to sustain
Your
it.
masterwork. I'm just
'Tis as if the core is
I'm just
feeding on
glad
the
that you all are
energy,
here to experience it with me.
consuming it. I need to take a closer look.
I feel like with the amount of times it happens, like if I said it happened as often, it'd be like I was lying. I do feel like it happens a lot though.
Curious. There is something there embedded inside the core.
Oh,
A man's limb.
oh Jesus.
This is what we came to destroy?
What an
Yes, if you would be so kind.
what a face. Is a man's limb? What man could this possibly be? Oh, the dragon's rage, Nidog's rage, kablooey! What's fun is that there are a couple things in Endwalker that I think will surprise you. I'm looking forward to it.
And that should be the end of it.
I feel like that usually when the game surprises me, I enjoy it a lot more.
What now?
There are a couple things that have happened where I've been like, yeah, you know,
My theory that the tower might come crashing down.
I wish it would have happened more closely to what I thought would happen, but for the most part, like 99% of the time, I'm like
For you. And how are we supposed to survive the fall?
pleasantly surprised when things change. I am very curious about whose limb that is.
What of the prisoners below? below.
The floor beneath our very feet dissolves. Brace yourselves!
I pray I'm not too late.
What an odd thing to say. Oh. Well, that's kind of convenient. It's raining elephants. And scions.
Oh, what happened? Where are we?
I mean, going to the moon was like, it's going to be a super shock. What a weird thing to happen. I did not expect that even a little bit. So I'm really interested into like, what has to happen between now and moon? Like, how does
By
that?
my reckoning, we're still on the island where the tower stood, but 'tis as if it never existed.
At the same time, the fact that they were called like lunar primals, looking back, it seems so obvious. I've said it before that the writers don't usually just do things, right? There's some kind of connection, like from what I've noticed, there's some kind of connection and they don't just do things for the sake of it. So when they call them lunar primals, I was like, I didn't even think we were actually going to the moon. So seeing that in the opening cinematic was like, so bizarre. Step 1, save the elephant. Step 2, question mark. Step 3, space. Yeah, exactly. Like, 1, we have to get there.
Hardly a scratch.
Oh.
But how?
Am I just stupid? Is that where the Sharlians are going? Is that what the Sharlians are preparing for? Is like we're not going to another location on Eorzea. They're going to space. They're like sending all this stuff off to a lunar, like, you know, a lunar colony. Is it really that easy? Why? I don't know why I didn't think about that in the first place. Like, that's stupid too. Okay, well, if that's the case, I don't know why I didn't see it sooner, but that's probably my going theory at the moment. That makes the most sense as to why we would be going to the moon or why the moon matters at all. But again, there's that connection with the lunar primals and the moon, so I could be wrong, but maybe I'm overthinking it. Who knows? Did Grahatia use time magic?
Graha wove a levitation spell at the last moment. Large enough to catch everyone, it would seem.
But it drained a ton of his ether? Holy crap, it really did save everyone. He said, I hope I'm not too late, but I thought he meant... I was thinking, like, you know,
explains the
time.
lack of obvious injuries.
I think if anyone was going to be a time mage in this game, it would be Grahatia. That's...
The expenditure of so much ether has taken its toll. He will need plenty of rest, but should otherwise be none the worse for wear.
What is Chrono Mage, I guess, is what they're usually called, right? Final Fantasy's had a couple of those, yes? Didn't the Red Mage take that role in a couple of games? I feel like Red Mage had access to some time magic at some point. But then there was like Chrono Mage or Time Mage. There's been a couple of those classes in Final Fantasy throughout the years, throughout the games. If anyone was going to do it, I feel like it would be Graha. Time Mage would be a cool class. I agree. They could do a lot with it for sure. I think
the immediate problem is what to do with our new friends here. There'll be much change for their time in the tower. Even if their bodies are intact, I doubt we could say the same for their minds.
I think it feels like they're going away from that a little bit. I didn't finish the first sentence or voice my first thought to then continue with the second thought. I know Time Mage, like, you know, with Tidus from 10, you know, Tidus used haste a lot. He was like the buffer guy. It feels like they're going away from buffs though, because right, we have astrologists and, well, maybe not, because they're adding it to something like, aren't the off tanks getting buffs? Isn't that the whole point, is like the off tank is going to be buffing their allies? But, you know, those are defensive numbers and like offensive numbers. I think that's very different than like a time mage. Could you imagine like the mages themselves, like summoner and, you know, white mage, they have quick cast, but that is increasing their own cooldowns or decreasing their own cooldowns with like an instant cast kind of situation. I don't know what that would look like for a time mage buffing their allies. Like, how would you even manage that? Where it just added a flat or a percentage like decrease to your GCD timer. That would, I wonder how that would play out. It sounds great in theory, but you know, I assume people who play this game quite regularly are so like dialed into their own GCDs. They know what buttons to press and where to go and what to do without like actually having to look at it or do like track they're internally tracking their cooldowns rather than externally doing it. Like through visual stimulus is what I mean. So I assume it's something like haste. Or it'd be really cool, like a time mage could slow down the casting bar of an enemy. There's all kinds of cool things you can do with time mage. Anyway, it was a class in 5, 12 tactics, pretty uncommon compared to white, black, and red, the chrono mages or the time mages. I thought they're like certain classes have had access to time magic though, right? Like slow or haste have been in the game forever. Like been in the series forever. Or, I mean, it was Final Fantasy V. Was that the first time we got access to those things? I don't quite remember. It's a possibility, but I feel like we had access to something like slow or speed or haste or whatever they called it. Or like boots, you know, sometimes there'd be an accessory that you could equip that would increase your... and enemies always had slow, right? There would be accessories that could prevent slow and things like that. But as far as like a dedicated time mage, it makes sense that there aren't that many out there. They're a hard class to balance, I imagine.
Angelo and I will take care of that.
I have every faith in you, Alize, but there are just too many for you to treat alone.
We'll send at once to Eorzea for more Porksies, and call on the local mages to lend a hand.
Hail, Scions!
That was fast. I guess they would notice as soon as the tower disappeared, huh?
We were watching the tower when it simply disappeared. What happened here?
The threat is banished, and thy people delivered. They are, however, in need of treatment, and we of a secure locale and helping hands to assist us in its provision.
Oriange taking control here, just like laying it all out.
You shall have all this and more. Come, let us convey these unfortunate
I feel like
souls to the
haste and
city.
slow usually get thrown in with the status spells bucket with the student. Yeah, yeah. All those like poison and paralyzed spells, like usually what is it, shock or something like that. Like I said, I assume those classes, I mean, I'm sure they're hard to balance in a single player game, you know, so many enemies. I think that's what I really love about 10, and I think why 10 is one of my favorite games in the franchise. You know, every Final Fantasy has always had like a boss that's like susceptible to certain status effects. Like every game's had a boss, essentially like an undead boss that you could one shot with like a Phoenix Down or a high potion or an X potion or something. And I always thought that was super cool, right? I think that's just like a staple of the Final Fantasy franchise at this point. But I think Final Fantasy X really dialed that up to 11, where like so many different monsters had different weaknesses and elemental, like not only elemental weaknesses, but status weaknesses and like physical resistances, where each party member was super important, and in how you use them and how you like built them through their sphere grid. But like time mages in general, I think that's one of the, don't want to say complaints, but that's like one of the things about Final Fantasy is there's been, as cool as spells like stop has been, or death or slow or any of those have been in the past, there's so many creatures that are like immune to them, and the ones that aren't, at that point you could just like two-shot anyway, right? There was like no real benefit to slowing or stopping these creatures when you could just hit them with a fireball and they're, you know, or fire a spell or a fire Aga spell or whatever, Firaha, and just killed him as it was. So I'm sure balancing them for an MMO would be even nuts. Even more nutty is what I meant to say. Even more nuts. A 3% reduction in the GCD wouldn't be very flashy. Yeah, that's, you know, that's what I'm saying too. There'd have to be something, you know. And it, you know, I will say this for Final Fantasy 14, most of the classes revolve around the damage that they deal, right? Even healers in this game are like, their damage matters. You know, they have to balance between healing and DPSing, because later on there's, you know, these DPS windows that you have to meet. And so I'm sure with a time mage or anything like that, a chrono mage or something, they would definitely still have damaging effects. It would just look like, you know, time-based stuff. But what better tome to have what better time to have a time mage than the new expansion when the battle system changes? Yeah. That's what I mean. But I think they said this one. What did they say? That the range DPS. Hey, Scotsman, what's going, friend? How are you doing? It's been a while. Thank you. Thank you. It'll be a shorter day today. We're still working back into things, but it's good to be back. It's good to be back. But yeah, so they said the tank was a new class, right? The main tank that we're getting is a new class, and then I think they said the ranged DPS is something that we've seen before, or I think that's correct. Or it's like a class or a job that's been in the franchise. But doing okay, not long, woke up from a mess. Nice. I hope it was a good nap. Naps are nice. I'm gonna have to take a nap soon too, or at least lay down. But we got some time. Anyway, how have you been? How's the family? I saw that Star has rebranded herself. It's exciting. All right, the liberated prisoners are being transported to Razat Han for treatment. Alize and Y'shtola will oversee the administration of the tempering treatment with support from those who know a healing spell or two. It's good. We'll go and join them in the city once you've had a moment to catch your breath. Scotsman, with the resubscribe, my goodness. 10 months. 10 months is a long time. It's a long time. Thank you, friend.
Who's that Pokemon?
I do appreciate you using your Prime sub on me. Oh, goodness. What have you been playing? Anything fun? I think I saw you stream a couple times over the last week and a half, but are you still doing TikTok mostly these days? Alright, we'll go and join them in the city once you've had a moment to catch your breath. Thanks. That was a long first quest. That was like an hour-long dungeon. Or hour-long quest in general. Managed to get a hold of Monster Hunter Stories 3. That's what I think I saw you playing on Steam or something, right? How's that going? You mean now? Insert the tower resort with the party. Oh yeah, it's just the duty stuff. Banquet is rested and ready to set out. Good. Oh, we're level 85 now. I don't know why I thought we were 83. Wow, we hit 85? That's a lot further along than I thought. Had enough rest, have you? You never were one for being idle. Right. Barshan bade us to come to Megaduda. Megaduda. That's, I think, Megaduda at our earliest convenience. The others will join us there once they have finished tending to the prisoners. Ah, wait. On second thought, you and Assidian should go on ahead. I need to make a quick detour by the great work. We left Graha in the alchemist's care, you see. Best to fetch him before he's crammed into a specimen jar. Just you and me, then. The guardsmen at the gate should wave us through. I don't think there's any way for me to just go there now. I gotta go the long way. By Chocobo. Hello, Duke. Oh, when I said by Chocobo, I didn't actually mean directly by Chocobo, but it worked out because Duke showed up. I meant more by Mount, but in this case, how it was. Just how it was. Those creepy things are so weird. Oh, it's a hunt. Or an A rank or an S rank, whatever they call them, I don't remember. They exist. Do, 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 do. Do, do. Mm-hmm. Eight over there. Almost to the gate. What kind of game is Monster Hunter Stories? I know it's like a spin-off. And Monster Hunter is more of like an action-adventure collector game, right? Crafting game. Did you catch up on any of the not E3 announcements? Any games end up catching your eye? No, none at all, actually. There's a couple of them. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'm really sad, actually, about the company. We just talked about it the other day. Well, not the other day. We just talked about it before I left. But Senua, the company that does Senua, Microsoft closed them down. So they released the trailer for the... Anthony! Hello, friend. 22 months. My goodness. With the Prime sub. Thank you. But they released that cool trailer and announced the whole, like, saga. And then they shut down the studio that's developing it. Like, what kind of nonsense is that? Xbox has been all over the place lately. It seems like they're... I just don't know. They were really, like, not doing great things for a while, and then they got a new CEO, and she, like, changed some things. It was like, I don't know, like, we're losing customers, we got to make some changes, and they were positive changes, and then I'm pretty sure she probably, you know, got shut down and was like, you're not making us money, like, you need to make us money. And so they had to close studios, and I'm sure they did it in order to, like, sell it, right? Since they released the trailer and they had an idea, another studio will want to pick up the IP and run with it. But man, I don't know. There's rumor Microsoft is going to sell Xbox. I think right now, from my understanding, the rumor is that either Microsoft is going to, like, fully absorb, or Xbox and Microsoft games are going to combine into one, right? I think that's the biggest thing. Is I think right now Xbox is separate from Microsoft games. Like, it's their own separate studio. I don't really know how that works, but yeah, who knows, man. I know for a while there, it seemed like Xbox was going to go more of the peripheral route, or like the ancillary route, kind of like how Sega did, right? Where Sega stopped being a competitor in the console space and started being more of a publisher. Like, you know, they did that years ago, right? When was the last the Sega Dreamcast? Was that like the last Sega console we got? And so it kind of seemed like they were going to go that route, where they'd stop producing consoles and go more in, like, directly into the PC, and then just develop and publish games, which is fine. But then they announced, the CEO came out and said that they were going to, they already had a new console in development, and then they gave away a bunch of consoles to the people who were at the convention. Like, I don't even know. I have I don't think they know. I really have no clue what's going on. But yeah, I mean, it could certainly be seen as them trying to, like, generate hype in order to, like, increase their stock value or increase their market value in order to find a buyer that just wants to buy it out. But who would they sell it to? Like, it's Microsoft. Who are they going to sell it to? Truly. I mean, who's going to buy it? Sony's not going to buy it. Steam's not going to buy it, right? Like, Who? There's not another. There's not another like company out there. There's not another person in the console market. You've got PC, you've got PlayStation, you've got Nintendo, and you've got Xbox. Like that's and Microsoft. That's it. I mean, there's not. Samsung, isn't Samsung owned by Sony? Do they not have a partnership? That would be a huge loop by I could be completely wrong. Don't take that my word for that. I thought Samsung was like an offshoot of Sony, but I could be completely wrong. LG. So LG is interesting. They've done handhelds, right? Like LG has the Nova or something like that. Okay, they are completely separate. Samsung and Sony are completely separate companies. I don't know why I thought they were one was like a conglomerate of the other, or like an offshoot of the other. But yeah, I mean, I think LG does have some like handheld presence or like mobile computer presence. What's it called? ROG? Is it? Oh man, Republic of Gaming? Is that what it is? Asus, I guess. Asus has. But that doesn't make any sense, right? Because I mean, who knows what makes sense these days? But like, I don't see why Microsoft, a primarily computer company, would sell to another primarily computer company. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know why that would happen. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess if you're just trying to offload it, who cares, right? Maybe they're just trying to get rid of it. But there was an article, I think, came out earlier this week or late last week or something that said Xbox loses hundreds of dollars on each console it sells. Like no kidding. Every console that's ever sold ever essentially has lost money, right? Like it's a loss leader. You sell the console at a cheaper price so that you make money on the games and the peripherals and stuff. Like that's just how it goes. So that wasn't like any real news. That's how it's almost always been. I just don't know who's big enough in the space. I mean, they could go the completely weird route. I mean, everybody's selling to the government nowadays anyway, right? I mean, it could just be a new start. I don't want to say a startup, but what TikTok, right? TikTok was sold to an American company, which was really just a board of investors, right? Like the guy from Oracle, the CEO from Oracle, Barron Trump, like the random nonsense people who have no experience dealing with things like that. The guy from Palantir, right? Like, don't they all have shares or stakes in the company that own TikTok now? I don't know. I've stopped using TikTok as soon as that happened, so I don't really know. All of this is more depressing than the final days. Yeah, sorry. I got on a tangent. But yeah, I just don't know. Like, and the other problem is that Microsoft being in the console game, like in the console industry, prevents kind of a monopoly from happening. Because as much as it's nice to say that the three big players, I guess, right now are PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo, the Switch. I think the Switch is its own thing, right? Like, I don't really think the Switch competes with anybody. It's arguable that the Switch kind of has a monopoly in its own right. I think Nintendo has such a huge market share that they don't care what goes on with Xbox and Sony. Right? Like I think gamers, right? Like people in the gaming space have complained about Nintendo being behind when it comes to, the graphical improvements that the newer generation of consoles have had. Nintendo doesn't seem to give an F about any of that, right? Like that's not been their thing. And so I don't know. I feel like there's just this competition really between Microsoft and Sony's been winning for years, decades, since the PS2 days, right? And so I don't know. I feel like if Xbox drops out, like that's it, right? You got Sony, or you got Sony, or you got PC, which Microsoft wins then, you know. I don't know if they'd sell as much as Dissolve, right? I think that's really all they would do. I think they'd close down their Xbox, like the console part of it, the console R&D, the console manufacturing, and they just absorb it into Microsoft Gaming, Microsoft Studios, and then become a publisher like Sega or Atari or any of those guys. They definitely play by their own rules. Yeah, Nintendo just does that. Nintendo does what it wants, and they seem to make money. So everybody in the gaming space was talking about how little of an improvement going from the Switch 1 to the Switch 2 was, and then they sold 3 million consoles in a week. Like, I think it was like, it's something stupid, like 1.5 million consoles in the first 24 hours or something like that. I mean, it was just dumb. So like, Nintendo does not care about, they don't care about the rules. I think that's, you're right. That's the best way to say it, is they play by their own rules. They know who their audience is. They tailor the experience to their audience, and they keep getting rewarded for it. I mean, whatever. All right, sorry. Back on the actual game itself. Microsoft's weird. All that to say, nothing has really caught my attention too much from the releases. Obviously, Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to be huge. The new Final Fantasy VII Revelation stuff is going to be big. I'm excited to finally play those games. I do need to sit down and look over like all of them. I should have taken time to do that. I just didn't. I'll let you know by tomorrow. How about that? I'll let you know if anything else stands out to me. Or maybe if we get through this in the next little bit, we'll go over it by the end. All right, Honored Scions, you are free to enter at your leisure. Thank you. As I cannot leave my post, I'm afraid you must make your own way. Should you require directions in the city, the sentry station at the fountain atop the steps should be glad to assist you.
Who's that Pokemon?
Only announcement I was really excited for was Xenoblade. Oh yeah, that's right. Dan's clearly excited about Xenoblade as well. That was a weird Nintendo Direct, wasn't it? Why did we get so much? Why did we get such big announcements from a Nintendo Direct? Xenoblade makes sense, right? But I never in a million years would have thought Kingdom Hearts 4 would be... I mean, it wasn't the announcement trailer, I guess, but it's like the first real teaser trailer that we've gotten in years. I just cannot see... I have no idea why... why that was announced at a Nintendo Direct. Though, can it be called excitement compared to the depth of emotional experience Dan is happening? Perhaps not. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a range of emotions, I'm sure. Though I have been to Razathan before, this place is a veritable maze. Rather than risk getting lost, we had best ask for directions from the sentry at the fountain. Mildly curious? Lead the way. And don't expect me to act as your tour guide like certain others. I would never. I would never. We're still getting that, what is it called? Blood Hunters, Dawn Blood, Blood Dawn, Blood Dust, Dusk Blood, Dusk, whatever it's called. The From Software spin-off game that's supposed to be like a Bloodborne spiritual sequel. We're getting that on the Switch, which is interesting. How was your week away? Garbage, Scotsman. I'll be honest with you. It was not a great time. I didn't sleep for half of it. The animals are crazy. My head was killing me the entire time. I'm just being a baby, but that's about sums it up without me having to go into all the details again. Are you a dancer? Or a dancer? That's cool. I think. Yeah, those are chakras, right? Chakrams? A dancer guard. A radiant, attentive, radiant. It was fine. It was fine. I was just I was really glad to be home, and then it didn't really improve my situation too much for the first few days. I'm finally trying to get back on like a decent schedule, and my head's just rebelling for it. So we're doing the best you can. It wasn't ever a vacation, right? It wasn't ever a time where I was like excited to go do this thing. I had to go watch a zoo for a week and a half, so it's, you know, it was fine, but I was doing it out of the necessity to help rather than out of the desire to escape my home. If that makes sense. Master Dion, I presume. I understand you were here for an audience with the satrap. If you require directions to Megaduda, I should be glad to provide them. Perfect, thanks. Satrap's residence is situated in Dharma, the highest part of Radzatan. To get there, I would ordinarily recommend a route that takes you by the bazaars in the city's north. Due to the state of alert, however, most businesses are currently closed and the Aetheryte disabled. As such, I will provide you with an alternate path. First, please ascend the steps next to this fountain, then continue left. Okay. There will be more steps, and upon ascending them, you will emerge on Paxa's path. Proceed through the large door on the right, and you will arrive at, oh my goodness, Riveda Fibers. Within, you will find another sentry who will give you further guidance. Okay, up the stairs to the left, arch on the right, or door on the right. Thanks. In other words, we head up. So we head up. Sounds straightforward enough, yeah. Is this... Oh, we have a map. Oh, that's a little bit easier, isn't it? I'm currently dog sitting for my papa's dog. Was my old dog, but they took her on. Been a few years. She stinks of smoke and is heavily overweight. It's getting to the point where I'm having to bathe her nearly every hour. That does not sound like fun to me. Yeah, it's crazy. My parents smoked my entire life growing up. I was like always surrounded by it, and you kind of get used to it. But now I've never smoked, other than, you know, secondhand. But yeah, now going back into like houses or places where people smoke or smelling it in cars or anything, it's like crazy how pronounced that smell is. It just gets into everything. It's just a matter of what we use to smoke. It's just that, yeah. You got for us, Justinian. Discuss the sumptuous portal. Ah, yes, I know about this portal. It leads to a nearby isle, the treasure vault of one Radzatan's wealthiest families. They took the god of luck for their guardian, on account of which they occasionally open up a section of their vaults for aspiring treasure hunters to try their own luck, or so they say. Oh, cool. Is this the, like the treasure hunts? I mean, it literally just said that, but is this the portal for that? That's neat. Or the maps? That's what I mean, the treasure maps. There are also coffers hidden across the land that act as portals. Find one and you gain access to the vault. We've been in there before. Something to bear in mind in case you exhaust your funds while on the road. 'Tis a troublesome experience, as I can personally attest. Oh, Estinian's been in there. That's pretty neat. Yeah, this is, we've seen these portals before. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I wouldn't even know. I assume it's, a lot of it seeps into like the oils of the skin, so you definitely have to use something that like broke down oils, like Dawn dish soap. Or, I don't know if Dawn's popular over there. I imagine dish soap would probably be the best, but if Dawn's good enough for baby ducks, it's good enough for your dog. Okay, up the stairs on the left, through the large door, found another watchful radiant. This person is, I don't know, some kind of caster. Heading to Megaduda, are you? In that case, please follow this hallway to my right and go through the door at the top of the stairs. You'll emerge at the entrance to the airship landing, where another sentry should be on hand to assist you. Incidentally, if you ascend the steps to either side of me, you'll find the workshop of Ruvada Fibers. Though you're free to observe the artisans, take care not to lose your way. Okay. I like how Estinian said he wasn't going to be my tour guide, but he's telling me everything that I asked, or telling me everything I ask him, or, well, telling me everything I don't ask him. Discuss the vibrant textiles. Ah, Thavnarian weave. Hard to imagine more vibrant stuff. I dare say Amaric would be partial to the gold thread, and the blue, of course. He loves his blue. I've never put much thought into what I wear. A spare set of clothing is usually all I carry, and if that isn't enough, I can always obtain something locally. I think these colors are awesome. If I could dress like this all the time, like dress in these beautiful colors and fabrics, I think that'd be sick. It's not really, I don't want to say culturally appropriate. It's not culturally prominent here, but I think it's super cool. I think it should be. We don't have Dawn here. Might see if there's something similar. Yeah. I'm sure there's some kind of dish out that's good for breaking down oils, right? I just know Dawn is the big thing here. I'm gonna go touch this crystal first. I might have to do it anyway, but... Agree, Thavnir is kind of the opposite of Ishgard. Colors ever... Yeah, for sure. Alright, Vigilant, Radiant. What are you? Sword, Shield, Paladin. Alright, cool. If you're here for an airship, I'm afraid all flights have been suspended until further notice. So the state of alert is still in effect. Perhaps it's for the best. That aside, we're not here for an airship. We have business with it at Megaduda. Oh, in that case, permit me to direct you. From here, it's quite simple, really. Ascend these steps and then continue straight ahead and across the bridge. You cannot miss it. Great. Probably could have done all this by myself, actually. I probably will break away and... Oh, I didn't touch that other crystal. Now I feel dumb. How did I miss that one? Well, I'd feel more dumb if I didn't go get these and had to run back. So I'll talk to Estinian. We'll go touch a crystal over there. Discuss Dharma. Ah, I remember passing by here with Varshan. The situation being as it was, he regretted not being able to show us the sights. Life has yet to return to normal here, but when it does, you ought to pay another visit. Though the city is confusing, the food is quite good. I'm partial to Hamza myself. The meat's surprisingly tender and flavorful. Squawk, Spock? Apparently the Hamza didn't like being talked about, or didn't like us talking about him being eaten. Is this like the hub city? Usually it's like the second city you visit where things happen here. Seems a bit big, but... yeah, kind of like Yulmore. There we go. I was just thinking about Yulmore. Usually it is like... Not the first city, but... Well, the Crystarium was the first city, but even in Crystarium, it wasn't there. It was Yulmore. Yulmore was like the hub city, so... Yeah, that makes sense. That checks out. I'm going to attune to this shard and then see if it'll take me down to the... I can go here. And then I'm going to go attune to the entrance shard because I'm stupid and didn't do it before. And then I can just zip on back. I guess Ishgard was kind of the hub city. It didn't really have a secondary one, did it? I'm trying to think of Heaven's Word. Was Ralgar's Reach? Is that what it's called? Is that like the hub city too? I don't remember. Maybe it's just relatively new and I'm assigning tradition to something that isn't really that much of a tradition, but Idleshire was the second at a time. Yeah, there it is. It was Idleshire. Ralgar's Reach and Kugane were the pair. We were in Kugane quite a bit. Oh. Scotsman's playing Mecha Chameleon and my entire computer decided to let me know it. What is Mecha Chameleon, Scotsman? I don't know why. It's so weird. I really need to find a setting to change or something. And I mentioned it before, but like for the first time, the first like Steam notification I get, because the Final Fantasy XIV launcher is launched through Steam, and then I play this one. But the first notification I get nearly every day through Steam, it like minimizes the whole screen and then it shows me the thing, and then I have to click over it. It's really weird. I don't know why it does that. It minimizes it briefly and then puts it back, but it's in windowed mode instead of full screen. I don't know. It's a paint yourself prop hunt type game. Oh, I think I've seen that. I've seen tons of shorts about that recently. I think a streaming group called Offline TV have been playing it quite a bit. It's like the new Among Us that people are playing. Greetings and welcome to Megaduda. That's fun. Are you playing in like random parties? May I inquire after your business? I was summoned. We are members of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Come to the invitation of His Excellency. Look at this idiot already claiming to be a Scion. He's already like fitting right in, huh? I've joined an agency on TikTok and they're having a game night. Oh, cool. What kind of agency? Like just a group? Ah, of course. We've been expecting you. I will show you into the audience chamber. If you would please follow me. Or like a somewhat legitimate talent agency. Forget about the curtains now. We know the secret, so you just open to the public. Yeah, just a group of people to help get better on TikTok, get gifts, do battles, etc. Oh, fun. Well, that's cool. Good luck with that.
The last to arrive? I hope we've not kept you waiting.
Is that where you've been doing most of your streaming?
Feeling better, I trust.
Anyway, don't let me bug you if you're
Thank you.
gotta go play the game.
Harness remedies are certainly potent in more ways than one.
One becomes accustomed to the taste, although I hope you never have cause to do so. Pray, take your ease.
Full glad I am to see you all unharmed.
Yeah, just doing it over there now because I'm making some money. Nice.
Valiant sons, for your heroism, you have my boundless gratitude.
TikTok was something that I was looking forward to until
Cast down that dire tower and set free its hapless captives. You cleanse their souls of its corrupting influence.
sorry, I don't want to talk over the dragon. Something I was looking into and planning. I mean, I was posting videos and stuff on TikTok for a bit, but then when the US portion of it broke off and got sold to some not so great people, I stopped using it altogether. So it's unfortunate that just not really an option for me anymore. It's an option, but not one that I'm willing to exercise. If things change, then we'll see, but I don't think they are.
Words of thanks will suffice. In place of platitudes, I offer a bounty of warding scales.
Thanks.
Pray accept your due reward, along with the goodwill of Radzatan.
Alchemists throughout the land.
You are alchemists, I was right.
In the forging of your talismans. The finished ones have been collected, and now await you at the high crucible of Alchemia.
Well, technically, I was wrong about being right.
Present this letter when you are ready to take them into your possession.
I thought it was alchemist, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. We're making scales, and then it ended up being alchemist after all. That's a thick letter.
We are humbled by your generosity. Know that the inventive wisdom of Radzat Han will be vital in restoring serenity to our star.
Every single one of those scales came from you, didn't they? You must still be in such pain.
It's nice, Alize. Oh, wow, goodness, Jesus.
'Tis of no moment. A mere annoyance compared to the dreadful suffering inflicted upon this land.
You know, it's really funny. I was literally just about to ask about how they acquired the scales. Dragons aren't known for, like,
albeit brief,
losing scales regularly.
My involvement in the Dragon Song War afforded me a glimpse of the myriad sorrows which consumed both dragon and man.
Vidertra's great. Yeah, he is
away,
pretty great.
Such tragedies as befell your kin must have affected you deeply. And yet, you chose to live among men.
In the age when that conflict first bloomed, my choice had already been made. In some distant place, man slew dragon, and dragon slaughtered man. Yet no hate could I muster for those smiling faces which did look to me for guidance.
And Virtra is one of the, like, the first brood, right? Isn't that what they call them?
Righteous rage could rally me to his cause. I huddled here, secret and still, hoping against hope that which I had built would remain untouched by the chaos and carnage.
Right, I think it was what? Was it Bahamut and Tiamat were like the first two dragons, and then we have Virtra and Hraesvelgr and Midgardsamir and Nidhogg. Were those like the first? Oh, there was where was the lady dragon? No, there wasn't a lady. Well, there probably had to be a lady dragon. Were they all part of the first brood? I'm sure there were more, but they're like the direct lineage of, like, the direct progeny. Midgardsamir is the parents, but the rest were, yeah. Oh, okay, so it's Tiamat and Midgard. Wait, who's the mother then? Tiamat, the mother of all dragons? Is it Tiamat and Midgardsamir? I thought it was Tiamat and Bahamut. Or is it just, are you saying that Midgardsamir was the child of Bahamut and Tiamat, and then... Oh, yeah, Ratatoskr, she's the one that, she died, right? She's, was one of the original that were killed by the humans, I think. Thank you, Ratatoskr. That's, which is really cool, because Ratatoskr is, in Norse mythology, is the little squirrel messenger god. Or the little, like, squirrel messenger that climbs all over the world tree. Not sure who Midgardsamir's parent partner was. Oh, okay. So Midgardsamir is the progeny of Bahamut and Tiamat? And the seventh of the brood we haven't met yet. Or are they all part of the same one? Maybe I just don't know the lineage of the dragons. I'm probably mistaking something. I'll look it up. You don't have to, like, regale me with dragon genealogy. I know human genealogy is your thing, but I don't know about dragon genealogy.
Twould seem we share the same desire for peace, great Vritra. To that end, I wonder if we might trouble you with another question. The Telophoroi are intent on recreating the final days, an apocalyptic event which we know to predate the sundering of the star. As the longest lived among us, know you aught of this terrible cataclysm?
Nay. When war and strife drove my sire from his home, he crossed the great expanse with only our unhatched eggs as company. He alighted upon a shattered source, its 13 reflections long since scattered beyond the rift. Of events preceding his arrival, he knoweth naught, save that which Hydralin hath deigned to disclose.
I see. So again, 'tis the inscrutable Hydralin to whom you must look for answers.
Convenient.
Seek you to divine the will of this star? If so, I have a tale which may afford you some small comfort.
Story time from a dragon? Count me in. That could only be good. The ever chatty Hydralin.
Story from my youth, many years
like an
ago.
absentee mother at this point.
To my sire, I once posed the question: of all the stars in the sky, why didst thou settle upon?
Only shows up for like your birthday, and then like later in life when you become successful, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I raised you." And
did reply, "'Twas the last bastion of hope."
Okay, well that concerns Virthras.
So long as Hydralin endured, so too might dragonkind. Solemn, momentous were his words. What deeper meaning they held, I could not, dared not pursue. 'Tis a stone I've left unturned ever since. Yet take you solace in the knowledge that whatsoever Hydralin does strive towards, 'tis an ideal which hath earned my sire's conviction.
Which we kind of know, which we kind of experienced already, right? With the whole Heavensward storyline, where we kind of lost our connection temporarily to Hydaelyn, and we had to regain a lot of our strength through Midgardsamir, right? Through our trials with him, where he kind of bestowed power upon us until Hydaelyn's connection was reforged or reconnected. That's redundant. Regardless. So that makes sense that Hydaelyn and Midgardsamir have some kind of connection, at least. And accordingly to Jonathan's mythology, she also enthralled you. Yeah, for sure. I still think that's right. I don't know if it's ever going to be directly stated, but something's going to have to come out to directly tell me that I'm wrong in order for me to ever be dissuaded from that theory.
Thank you, Vritra. You've given us warm reassurance in a world gripped by cold uncertainty.
While I'm sure we all have a great many questions, I think it's time we collect the talismans and be on our way. Our fight against the Telophoroi is far from finished.
Far from finished.
We must take our leave, but please do inform us if we can provide any further assistance.
Ryle curtsy. I like how she's like her staff at the end of it is a mace.
Prithee, a moment.
Uh-oh. And he sensed our connection to Hydaelyn. Wouldn't surprise me.
There is one whom my sire hath judged worthy of honor and respect. The one known to men as Eorzea's champion. This hero of renown and rumor. 'Tis thee.
I like how it's a statement and not a question, firstly. Also, thank you for recognizing me for doing all this stuff and not just as like, you know, the errand boy of Hydaelyn. Thank you for acknowledging me as an individual. Vritra, awesome. Great character. Also, again, not a question. He just is stating it like a fact. Midgardsamir and I have crossed paths, yes. I only wish he could be here with us now. I mean, I have him as a little minion. I can just pull him out real quick.
I know of his clash with Omega and the long slumber which was his price. Yet even closed in sleep, my father's eyes are far from blind. He is watching over thee, watching over this world.
So he's not dead? I don't
'Twas a revelation
quite understand.
most pleasing that thou, a child of man, had gained Midgardsammer's trust. But alongside mine elation runneth a rivulet of dread.
That's fair. Kind of died helping us, so.
My life's reel wind too many threads of fate, power, wheel enmeshed with woe.
Whoa, I've never heard that word used, that wheel.
Not, thou shalt know no rest. 'Tis an endless confluence of forces, a struggle without cease.
Are wheel and woe like opposites? I've never heard that word before. Wheel. Merriam-Webster's dictionary. A sound, healthy, or prosperous state. Wheel has, since the dawn of English, referred to well-being. So wheel and woe would be, I guess, the... If you hadn't, it would have been, I've not spoken with your father in some time. Oh, I'm sorry. You said, oh, you only got that dialogue option because you did the Omega raids. That's cool. Oh, neat. And then you said if you had, it would have been, I've not spoken with your father. Oh, that's cool. I think, we definitely should be caught up, or should have caught up on some of these, because I think it was Dragon and Zaria who was mentioning that there's like different dialogue options based on the raids that you've done. Yeah, so an antonym of weal is like suffering, misery, ill-being, sadness. So weal and woe are, that's cool. I've never heard that word before. I just like in Merriam-Webster, did you know, weal has, since the dawn of English, referred to well-being. Okay, what a way to say that. Like, why is that how you're choosing to present that information to me? But cool. All right. Is it like, is that the root word of wealth? It seems like they might share a root. Wealth, like something of well-being, being wealthy. Weal, wealth. Cool. All right, learn something new. My favorite part of the day is learning something new. All right.
More terrible still is the attrition wrought upon thy companions, as they are swept up in the storm of thine existence.
Here we go, we're remembering all the... You don't show ours, Siobhan. I'm tossing my controller. All right. We could have chosen a better image. Everyone else looked all happy and healthy. Siobhan's bleeding from the mouth, actively dying.
They will be your strength and your salvation.
Grief.
The hope thou wilt need come the end.
It's like when, it's like in the media, when all the white people are accused of heinous crimes, like father of four kills entire family in murder-suicide, and they show him like in his Sunday best, like everybody's all happy, or when they're like, teenager murders family of three in a terrible car crash, and it's like his graduation picture where he's got like his valedictorian stuff on, and then the poor black kid is like, black kid gunned down for walking out of store accidentally with a handful of candy, and he's they show his mugshot. Like, that's exactly how I just felt with Hardfont there. It's like everyone else gets this nice little send-off, and then did they show Ysayle? Ysayle was the first one they showed. To be fair, she was like kneeling down, so she might have been at the end of her life, but she wasn't bleeding from the mouth. I think that was her summoning Shiva, actually.
I know the suffering of the powerful. I have watched my siblings driven.
Ysayle is my harsh font. I know. I know. She was a good character. But yeah, Ysayle was the first. As long as she got screen time, I can tell. She did. She got opening credits. First name on the roster.
Ah, apologies. We hadn't meant to interrupt.
Which makes sense, because she has the closest connection with the dragons otherwise.
It's just that we do have a history of suddenly collapsing, and when you didn't follow us out...
Thanks, Alize.
'Tis I who must apologize. I have detained your champion overlong with idle chatter.
Goodness, this whole side is messed up. They just ripped the scales out of him.
At war's end, I pray I welcome thee back into my hall, where together with thy joyful comrades, you may toast your triumph.
At least he's, you know... I mean, he's making small sacrifices. I don't imagine that he's going to have trouble regrowing those scales, but to have them forcibly removed from his side like that, it's certainly not comfortable. Also, I mean, if you just imagine the durability of dragons in general, it probably takes a lot of force to rip that out of his body like that, you know? dragon scales are, in all media essentially are like rare magical things. They don't just literally fall from dragons like fruit falls from trees. So good on him, I guess. Seriously, the most extreme eyebrow plucking ever. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not a lot of fun. So what were you and Virtua talking about? Nothing? That's nice. Very well, if you say so. The others have gone ahead to the High Crucible. Let's catch up to them. I think this is the last quest of this quest line, this chain anyway, before we get on to the level 82, 83 stuff, and I'm probably going to have to call it after that. I'm faking it very well, but it is something else. I was just thinking something. I wish is there like a, is there a decent like lore video that I can watch that covers a lot of the background stuff that's going on in this game? Because I feel like I just want more of an explanation, or more. What I want is confirmed truth, I would say, when it comes to like Hydaelyn and Zodiark and the Source and the Fractures and like the other worlds, the other shards, so to speak, because it feels like we're getting a lot of like half stories from everyone. Like, you know, Grahati has told us some about like his shard and the void and everything, and Emmett Selk has told us his side of the whole Zodiark Hydaelyn conflict, and then Hydaelyn herself has now told us stuff about how you know, she was summoned because Zodiark's followers were essentially willing to like sacrifice the living in order to like re-summon the dead, more or less, like regain their former status kind of situation. I kind of want an actual, and maybe that's the point up to this, so maybe asking for that is kind of a spoiler in and of itself at this juncture. Maybe I'll learn more as we go, but it kind of feels like even the people that I've talked to, like, even no offense to you guys, but like people that have come in and out of chat or in general, like everyone has kind of given me little pieces of the story that they think I should know or shouldn't know or will know or won't know. I don't know. I just wanted, I want some kind of chronology or some kind of like overview of that where I can for sure know the truth of at least part of it. And I know a lot of the fun is, again, it's probably worth finishing 6.0 first. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I will do that. Maybe next year at this rate, but we'll do it. The color of joy. Oh, look, am I getting more bread? I am getting more Archon loaf. Is this my first edible Archon loaf? No, I have 2. Okay, so this isn't my first actual edible Archon loaf. But it's nice that we're getting some more. Like, why was so much sacrifice needed for Zodiark? Yeah. I mean, I imagine that's, you know, the closer to the truth. That's not really what Emmett Selk, like, alluded to. And I said that, again, I don't want to, I'm not trying to brag, but I said that when Emmett Selk was telling us his story. I was like, there's no way this is, like, all of the story, right? He was expounding upon like what we were getting in little bits and pieces, and he was telling us parts of it. Like, there's no way that everything he's saying is true, right? He is an unreliable narrator in the most egregious of senses. He clearly has his own motivations. And then, you know, we're starting to get little bits and pieces of like what was true and what wasn't and why it was happening. So why did Hydaelyn decide to do her own counter movement? Yeah. And it wasn't just, and it was the other ancients too, right? Like the other ancients are the one that summoned Hydaelyn. So what were the Asians doing or whatever? What were they doing? What that caused essentially a rebellion, right? For lack of a better word, a civil war. And I assume what we're going to find out is just, well, I mean, we've kind of found out some of it. What's her name? What was the original? So not Emmett. Is it not Elidibus? Is it Elidibus? Elidibus was the one after Emmett Selk, right? He was the one that was in the first. I always get them mixed up. I think it was Elidibus. Who was the first one? La Habrea, right? Okay, so Elidibus. Elidibus was like the heart of Zodiark, right? He sacrificed himself to be like the heart of the personification of Zodiark. And I think there was that other woman that did the same thing for Hydaelyn. I don't remember her name, but my assumption is that we're her, right? Like, we've kind of gotten a little bits and pieces of it. Is that like the Warrior of Light on the source has like all these connections to the other Warriors of Light from due to the fracture. I mean, it's kind of just what I'm getting at, is like we share a connection with all these other Warriors of Light, or all of the others from the fracture, from the other they're shards. It's shards. I keep losing that. Hey Dan. We're doing. How are you? How has your week and a half been? Almost 2 weeks. I guess, has it been 2 weeks? It has been 2 weeks, hasn't it? How has it been? How have you been? How's life? School's over for you out now, right? What are we up to this summer? Alphino has a mind to join the others at the High Crucible. Great. The attendant was kind enough to give me directions to the High Crucible. First, let us return to the mulberry orchard. Doing good, woke up from a nap. Isn't it like 9 p.m. there? School ends early July, does it? That seems really late. That's right, you guys have a shorter summer because you guys get like more, you get like more breaks, more holidays. So are you guys doing like finals and stuff? Big exams? This is so pretty. I like this. Could be because of that. Yeah. Well, I mean, we have a longer summer, but we don't get nearly as much time off as I would say you do. No more exams. So what are you doing for the next like 3 weeks? Anything? From here, we're supposed to follow the path left and past the mulberries. Mulberries. Our exams usually wrap up like in the second to last week of school for us. So we generally, like, the last week is kind of just like a whatever week. This is the last week where we get grades at all. Interesting. So what are you being graded on? And what do you do the last couple weeks then? Where the street turns, enter the door straight ahead, then descend the steps. I thought the Crystarium was confusing, but it doesn't compare to Razid-Han. The architecture and decorations make it even harder to get your bearings. Anyway, let's see where this door takes us. We'll just watch movies or something? Like educational, fun animal movies, or like actual entertainment style movies? Seems like a big old waste of time. I think in terms of what information has been shared, we know we were Azim. That's her name, right? We have, or his name? We have his soul crystal, which we started using to summon heroes. And they said implied that he broke from the direction of the convocation of 14. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I think that checks out for the most part. In economics class, the teacher said that she'll teach us about economic things that we actually care about or are interested in. All right. And here's the Aetheryte Plaza. So far, so good, and there isn't much further to go. From here, we just need to cross to the other side of the hall, then pass through the larger of 2 doorways. The High Crucible lies beyond. I suspect the others have already collected the warding scales. Come, let us join them. Can I attune myself to this crystal now? What are you hoping to learn then? What are you most interested in? According to the message on the base, this Aetheryte has been temporarily disabled. Okay, I still can't interact with that then. Is it like a question and response situation, or does she just have a list of things that like she imagines you're most excited for or most interested in? High Crucible. The movie we'll watch in chemistry will be some movie that has to do with science, like Back to the Future or something like that. Back to the Future Might be one of the greatest movies ever made. I think Back to the Future is a 10 out of 10 movie. And we're last, of course, but at least we found the place. True. I don't know what it has to do with chemistry, but, you know, who cares?
These are the talismans we were promised.
That's cool, though. Have you been,
and I made a quick count.
Have you been playing anything fun?
Could have hoped for.
That's good.
Enough to outfit an entire company of soldiers, in fact.
Oh.
Considering the involved process, that they were able to manufacture so many in such a short span of time is nothing short of a miracle.
That is a lot. I guess they don't need them anymore, do they?
Once we have distributed them to our allies in Eorzea and the Far East, we'll have a fighting chance to bring down the other spires, just as we did with the Tower of Zot.
Or we could use them to invade Garlemald proper and strike directly at the Telophoroid's base of operations.
Oh, we could do that, sure. I feel like it's a mighty leap, but going from a 0 to 100 real fast.
Of course, we would need to consult with various alliance leaders before such a drastic measure could even be contemplated.
I'm personally most interested in taxes and insurances because I might have an apprenticeship soon. Oh, that's exciting. What part of taxes and insurances? Y'shtola is never shy. That is true, 100%. She is very direct, and I appreciate it of her. You never really have to guess what she's thinking. There's only been a few times where she's been like, I don't want to say secretive, but indirect, I guess, or when she's alluded to something that she's not fully sure about, and then, you know, she ends up telling you later, though, which is great. Y'shtola's a boss.
To which end, I could set out forthwith and present the idea to each of our allies in person.
She's like, I'm getting started now.
Pray allow me to undertake some few of those journeys. I find myself restless and in need of purposeful duties.
I can head eastward. Bosnia and Dalmasca are just a short hop from here. And Doma's shinobi network should come in handy for passing on the word.
We shall share the burden then. Meanwhile, I think it best that you and the others take the talismans back to the Baldessian Annex. We must keep them safe and secure until we've decided upon a course of action.
Makes sense. Even when she was secretive, it's because she thought Oriange was being secretive and lying, which he was. Yeah, which he was.
Who's that Pokemon?
Look who it is. Hi, friend. I'm glad you're okay now. It makes sense that she would recover soonest because she was the last to go in that we know of.
Nidana, you're awake.
Dan, you said some insurances are split 50-50 between the employer and the employee, and I forget which ones they are. Yeah, I don't know either. Those are the ones that you're most interested in, though? Why those specifically?
Yes. When I spoke with the carer at my bedside, she told me that one of the scions, a young woman, had cleansed me of the tower's corruption.
Oh, Alize.
It seems I've been asleep ever since the treatment. But when I awoke and learned you were all still here, I knew I had to come.
Probably just like workers' insurance, workman's comp or something like that, I imagine. But I don't know what it'd be called or referred to over there.
As you said, Nidana was captured only recently.
Oh.
Such a brief exposure is swiftly cured, so I tended to her before we gathered at Megaduta.
It's like she's speaking directly to me. It's like she's breaking the fourth wall to tell me, to confirm what I just said.
I'm truly grateful that you did. I cannot thank you enough.
Still Paul.
For all of you. For everything you've done. Destroying the tower, rescuing our people. You've saved Havnir from an awful fate.
Laura says, so, I'll talk about it in a second.
Yet who hath truly saved whom?
There we go. I mentioned before, Laura is the one doing our emotes, and she's had something come up that's going to, like, it's a big life change. I'm not getting into her business. But she is able to work on the emotes again, and she's still pretty confident that we'll be getting them before August. So I am super happy about that, and hopefully it can happen. I'm obviously clearly understanding of like delays and stuff, and so I'm not rushing her. I'm clearly not upset about any of it, but I'm really hoping that that everything works out for her, and also fingers crossed that we can get them, get them before August, because I think big changes are happening. Well, they're in the process of happening, but like the big thing happens at the end of July. So, and then she's probably not going to be available to work on anything for quite a long time. I say quite a long time. I don't know how long, a month maybe, but so it seems like if we don't get them before August, we're probably not going to get them until like closer to the end of the year. Which again is fine. Life happens. I'm not mad about it, but fingers crossed. Danny said, because it would make calculating taxes easier, I think it's impossible to commit tax fraud on accident. But it's still good to know how much money you can keep. You and tax fraud, Dan. You, maybe you just need to become an accountant and make sure that no one commits tax fraud. That's awesome how she's doing. She, from my understanding, she is doing well, yeah.
Due in no small part to thine inspirational courage, the alchemists were successful in reproducing warding scales of proven efficacy.
Is it easy for you to accept help? Oh, that was like the same question we got last time. How crazy is that?
Unto the hands of those who might wield them against this rising evil.
I'm gonna add some questions to the question of the day. Add some variety.
Is this true?
It's just crazy because it is random. Do you have any irrational fears? Spiders. There's only like 2 spiders that you would need to worry about.
I'm so groggy from sleep. I didn't even think to ask.
Needles.
Oh, great work sent across the seas.
I don't.
It was worth it.
It
was all worth it.
You got me. You got me. Is height irrational? No, I think that's pretty rational fear. Maybe if
Look at that.
Aw.
Its color is completely changed.
That's cool.
What do you have there?
Oh, I think we're okay. We're not going to explain it because I think we're going. Oh, never mind. He's gonna wah 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 wah.
How unusual. I wonder if the effect is a reaction to Akasha.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with that term.
Akasha? It is one of the unseen energies defined by Harnish alchemical theory.
Interesting.
Though a gross oversimplification, some describe it as an essence influenced by feelings.
You imply that it is distinct from ether?
Foreign scholars often conflate the two, but we see them as separate concepts.
Is this?
Ether is an energy which permeates the land. It exists within animals, objects, even the air we breathe, affecting all through which it flows. Akasha, on the other hand, exists in a domain beyond our reach. A gift bestowed from on high, or torn from the heavens in some traditions. Akasha can neither be created nor destroyed. It is beyond our power to purposefully alter or manipulate.
Interesting.
The only thing observed to influence it is an abundance of, I want to say, spiritual emotion. As a veteran of the battlefield, surely you've experienced moments of desperation or exaltation when you've transcended the usual limits of your capabilities.
Yeah. We were studied. Omega studied us to do it.
It's a
I figured out.
manifestation of Akasha, the invisible essence harnessed by heart, mind, and unyielding spirit.
I really must hear more about this theory. Our disciplines are based entirely upon the idea that ether is the fundamental form of all energy.
I'm glad my haphazard explanation has piqued your interest.
It's really, I think this is a good example of why, like, I'm not a scientist. Because Y'shtola is, like, super excited about that, and it just annoys me. The reason it annoys me is because I want, like, a direct lineation between something that is scientific and something that is spiritual. Does that make sense? And maybe it's just because of, I have a more closed mindset when it comes to, I would say religious or spiritual practices. I think it's just, probably a fault of mine. Where there seems to be a delineation between those two things, right? Like, I don't know, for lack of a better word, like faith is unprovable. To have faith in something implies that there's no direct evidence of its existence or of its being, right? So you take faith in knowing that it exists in that way. And so in this case, when she's talking about Akasha, I still don't know. Is this something that she says he can't study it. She says that, like, we can't manipulate it. We can't observe it. The only way, or, in normal day-to-day ways, the only way that we can observe it is, well, like she said, large amounts of, like, spiritual emotion. What the heck does that even mean? Like, what is that even a thing? So I still don't know if this is, like, real or if this is more of, like, at the sake of sounding insensitive, like, Eastern medicine, or, like, not Eastern medicine, holistic medicine that you see a lot more, I would say, in Eastern cultures than you do in Western ones. Snake oil, I guess, that's a much more insensitive term than what I would say, like, holistic medicine would be. I feel like here, there are certain groups of people that 100%, like, fall into that holistic, like, natural medicine thing here in the West, but I would say it's, like, seen more skeptically by the wider audience. And again, maybe this is just ignorance on my part. 100%. I mean, I would say it is probably ignorance on my part. I feel like that whole natural holistic medicine is seen much more openly, I guess, in more Eastern cultures. Like, obviously this one is based off of. So maybe it's, for me, I'm just kind of annoyed at this. I want to know whether this is an actual phenomena that's occurring or whether it's really just like a spiritual explanation for a lack of scientific evidence. Anyway. Sorry, Dan said, irrational fear of Takahashi being taken out by his ops, so there will be no more Xeno peak. Who is his ops? Who is why would Takahashi have ops? And why would he be taken out by them? And it says the fact that it's a motive does make it sound wishy-washy. That's what I mean, right? Like, I don't know. But as an alchemist, I do think she is taking a scientific approach. Also a good point, but, like, there are... I think someone who, like, reads a lot of fantasy, a lot of sci-fi and stuff, there's, like, a really big blending between, magic and science, right? Like, there is a lot of times, like, magic is just something that we can't explain, like something scientific that we can't explain to it, and so we see it as mystical until we can prove that it exists, right? To some extent. I feel like for a lot of the stuff, when it talks, like, about holistic medicine, that whole aspect of it, there is, like, a blending. I can understand the, like, magic and technology bridging over. I think what gets to me is, like, the spiritual side of it. When, like, there's, like, these three tenets, right? You have, I guess magic and spirit are probably more closely related than magic and technology, but I feel they're kind of like this pyramid of stuff, right? Not a pyramid, but more like a triangle, where, there's bridges between the two. And so I can understand more about, like, the technological and science and magic side of it, like, blending together. But when you add, like, a spiritual element to it, I think I just have that, I think I'm just more closed-minded, like I said, when it comes to those things. And so I don't see the bridge as steady as the other way around, if that makes sense. But he doesn't have ops, that's why it's irrational. That's fair. But saying it cannot be manipulated probably just means we don't know how to manipulate it yet. That occurs with a lot of things, sure. Kind of like how we know neutrinos exist, but they're really hard to detect because of their innate properties. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. Hopefully.
But even for us, Akasha is a somewhat abstract field of study.
He's like,
a lack of practical application lends itself poorly to formalized research.
it's like theoretical physics, right? Like.
Which is why my analysis of your flower can amount to little more than idle speculation.
See,
I am sorry.
I appreciate that Idana is saying that, right? She's essentially just like, she's like, I don't know, you know, like I'm just providing what very little insight I can, but none of this is actually provable. I respect that of her. Today I learned I'm an Idana apologist. No, I mean, she just cleared it up herself, right? There's nothing to apologize for. She got excited. She's like trying to attribute a phenomena to something that she can't explain. And at the same time, she's like, I could be wrong. Like, I don't know. I have to figure it out. Dan said, oh no, I forgot. People who wanted a 3D Mario to be announced at the Direct are ops. I don't think those two things are mutually exclusive, right? I don't know why one can't exist without the other.
Nonsense. You have nothing to be sorry for. Your insight is much appreciated.
I assume we'll be getting another 3D Mario soon, but Donkey Kong was the big one that they were working on, right? They stopped, or they didn't do a 3D Mario in order to do the 3D.
Shall we depart for Sharlayan then?
Bonanza.
I will see to it that the talismans arrive at the annex.
People get mad over everything.
And we will be in touch once our talks are concluded. I suggest you rest while you can. From here onward, sleep is bound to be in short supply.
This is completely unrelated, but that little musical, that melodic phrase in the background sounds very much like a Porter Robinson song. I feel like mad is a lot of people's default emotion these days. I feel like anger is just an emotionally immature person's response to any kind of emotional stimulus. Like, I don't know how to feel, so I'm going to be mad instead. I'm going to go touch this aetherite crystal or this ether shard while I'm close to it. That's how our catalog handles things. Yeah, like just bark, 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 bark. I don't know what this is, so I'm gonna scare it away because it scares me. Can't get back to that one. Where am I even going now? Color of Joy. Good grief, that's so expensive. Oh, I guess we're going back from one to the other. I assume we'll come back here because we can't even unlock the aetherite, so we'll probably do it at the end of the story, just like we did with Wolmore, right? I will say, I said it earlier, but I will say that like that was just the strangest Nintendo Direct. From the little that I have seen of it, it just doesn't seem to make any sense. Like there are so many announcements that aren't normally at a Nintendo Direct and that were, and I guess people wanted a new Mario. That's really been like a year. When did Bonanza come out? A year and a half ago? I'm so glad that there are no big, fully new Mario or Zelda games because that may get Xenoblade and Fire Emblem more spotlight. I've never touched a Fire Emblem game, but mainstream Nintendo fans cry about it as much as they cry about Xenoblade. I think Fire Emblem has a very dedicated fan base, probably similar to Xenoblade, yeah. Fire Emblem is one of those games that didn't really get a lot of recognition in the West for a very long time until like Awakening came out. On the 3DS, and that was like in 2014 or so. Like, Fire Emblem is definitely bigger than Xenoblade, though. Yeah, I mean, but Fire Emblem's been around like a decade longer than Xenoblade has. Maybe longer. Alright, it's good to be back, and with the fruit of our labors safely in storage. For now, we have but to wait for the others to return from their respective meetings with the Alliance leaders. As Thancred suggested, you should get some rest in the meantime. Welcome back, Dion. Corral has apprised me of your recent accomplishments. What an amazing feat to eliminate a tower and pave the way to deal with the rest. While it isn't much, I've changed your sheets and plumped up your pillow. After all, there's nothing like collapsing in a nice, clean bed after completing a major milestone. Be it pinning a thesis or defeating deiform entities. Yeah, you're right, those are the same. So, would you like to take a look at your new and improved lodgings now? Ooh, I have new and improved lodgings? I would love to. Give me my bread, please. Give me my nutritious flavorless bread, true. But I heard that a lot of people are getting into Xenoblade right now because of the Switch 2 editions, which is great.
Take heart and protect them well.
Yeah, I mean, I think Xenoblade is definitely growing. I mean, it seems like games come in like this circular... Oh, look at that. Did you bring us food?
Good, you're here. You haven't eaten yet, have you?
Oh, look at my friends
We've
coming to
bought
dine
quite a
with me.
spread if you're interested. Only the finest dining from the last stand.
Oh, and I also noticed how Rex and Laura are the only Xenoblade protagonists that don't have blue eyes. Aren't there only like 3 or 4 Xenoblade protagonists? I mean, there's not that many. If your sample size is like less than 10.
Lest you wonder, we invited Estinian as well. But he refused with a rather grim-faced, "No, thank you." I suspect Charlian cuisine is not to his liking.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Is she eating pizza?
Our lone wolf just needed some time apart. What? To perfect his brooding stare? Next time, I'll drag him out by the ear, sit him down in front of a Charlian feast, and see that he eats every last bite.
He's just eating burgers and they're eating pizza. This is fun.
An excellent idea. Of all people, warriors must take proper meals and rest if they are to maintain a healthy constitution.
Thanks, Alphino.
Poor Estinian, beset on all sides.
I feel like that's a big anime trope in general, right? Where the, like, look at the main cast of this tape. Look at the characters that are sitting at this table right now.
I hear you recently played literal host to Heidelin herself.
Where did you hear that? Who told you that?
And what an experience that was. Tiring, yes, but no lasting harm done. If anything, I should have liked to speak with her longer. I've not felt a hint of her presence since. Heidelin instructed you to carry that flower, yes?
Mm-hmm.
'Twill be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. And then something about seeking joy in darkness, was it? Come to think of it, isn't that what happened with Nidana back in Radzat Han?
The flower did seem to radiate a joyful glow, as if reflecting the elation we all felt, the relief of a people with renewed hope.
Indeed, and in turn, I felt buoyed by that radiance. 'Twas akin to spotting a beacon and knowing we were on the right path. I know we've not yet triumphed over the Telophoroi, or learned the full breadth of the Forum's plans. But even within the midst of our struggles, we find small moments of joy to sustain us. Rare and hard-won perhaps, but it is this pursuit of happiness that gives us the strength to carry on day after day. Hey, that's mine.
To the swift the spoils. Though I recall that levitation spell of yours was quick enough.
Only barely. And even at my best, I'm still too slow to wield it effectively in battle.
Practice makes perfect, I
I
guess.
simply require more practice with this new magic.
Is he gonna levitate the cookie out of her hand? That'd be hilarious.
You unearthed it from the depths of Numenon, I presume.
Aye, and from a veritable mountain of arcane tomes at that. 'Twas necessary to facilitate my solitary explorations.
The Numenon is underneath the
Or,
library, right?
simply, you used it to sneak around the forbidden archives.
Yes, well, after a fashion. They're tall, you see. The shelves, they're too tall for me. And I could hardly move the library's platforms without attracting attention now, could I?
He learned levitation magic so he could reach the books higher shelves. That's funny. Now I'm disappointed that Garad didn't levitate. Yeah, me too. What happened? Like stolen one of her cookies off of her plate. I'm counting 6 protagonists. Not sure about X because you got customizable character, but many people who played it also see another character as the main character. When I said protagonist earlier, I was thinking of main protagonist because otherwise my statement wouldn't be true. Sure. And that one had blue eyes. It's especially interesting because of how Malos points out Rex's eyes and stuff. I'm limiting the scope of my observation because further research would prove me wrong. This is great. All right, pushing on until dawn. Shall we call it a night? You do, these are my quarters. Pushing on until dawn.
I'm not that ambitious. But 'tis pleasant to idle away the hours every once in a while.
I don't think there's a trend anyway. I think if your sample size is 6, it's impossible to determine a trend at that point. Everything is coincidental at best. This guy's back. And again, I think that's just like an anime trope, right? Like the anime main character always has like fancy eyes or fancy hair or something. You can.
Enjoying the bracing cold, I see. Do you not own a warm coat or a cloak? Something in fur? Or fashioned from the skins of your enemies? Or... well, never mind that. I come to you once more as the bearer of bad news. Our tower in Thavnir has been toppled, and I need not tell you by whom. Given how many we have at our disposal, the loss of a single spire is hardly fatal to our plans. It does, however, slow the rate at which we siphon ether. If they continue to preoccupy themselves with the towers, then all will be well. But should our foe prove bold enough to strike at us here, then the timing becomes... questionable.
Questionable.
Our foe is bold enough. Of that, I can assure you.
A little bit of dramatic irony here. Ishtola's talking about attacking us directly.
Yes, very well then. I suppose I must prepare a proper welcome.
And now they're preparing for it.
Honestly, talk of your nemesis is the only thing you seem to enjoy. Does nothing else spark your interest?
No. All else is equal.
I expect nothing less from Xenos.
Equally tedious, equally disappointing. The world is a tepid bog into which we sink, too weak to thrash as the mud clings to our eyes and fills our throats till we blissfully choke.
This guy sucks so bad. It's like Eek edgelord just.
But then came the light, blinding and pure and hot, so very hot.
He has a crush.
Enough to set my soul.
Is everyone in love with the Warrior of Light?
I basked in the afterglow until the void yawned once more. And then I knew the muck.
Xenos feels the same about Warrior of Light as Dan is 100%.
There was naught for
100%.
me ahead, so I drew the curtain on all that had come before.
None more than Xenos. True, Xenos.
Burn.
For Xenos, it's an obsession.
Star burn. I will have my contest. I will reclaim my moment.
I mean, the guy literally died. Xenos loves us so much that he died, attached his soul to another's body.
Wonderful that the emptiness of death has not dissuaded you from committing your life to its pursuit once more.
Fought an Ascian in hand-to-hand combat against his old body just to reclaim it. Just so he could fight us again. So he could feel something in his life. I mean, if that's not true love, I don't know what is.
What of yours? Despite your noisome antics, I sense you take little pleasure in this endeavor.
Mercy, my lord.
That's true, yeah.
Pointed barbs from one who barely acknowledges my existence.
It's unrequited. I hope so.
Nevertheless, you are mistaken. For I do find this part somewhat enjoyable. You see, when I was mortal, I would always have the same dream. It was a fragmented thing, disjointed, all the faces incomplete. The setting, too, was unknown to me, so I thought it simply a fantasy of my sleeping mind. Until one day, I realized it was showing me the truth. Much as your dream of the final days enlightened you.
Who's that Pokemon?
And soon, very soon, the rest of the world will see the truth of my dream, too. Yes, I think that is something we can both enjoy.
I'm really waiting for like the big revelation as to how this is all really tied back to Zodiark, because Van Daniel seems to be acting like on his own kind of situation. You know what I mean? No, there's the end of that quest. That's good. Van Daniel wants to bring about like the end times, the end of days. He wants to bring back that big old like apocalypse situation, and he's using the towers to do it, which is fine. That's great and all. How does that benefit Zodiark? And Van Daniel seems this is not the first Van Daniel. This is like it's like a title, right? Van Daniel's a title just like the others have been. And Van Daniel is like he's adopted, I guess, or he's the successor to the previous Van Daniel. And this guy is kind of off his rocker. So he seems to be the last like Ascian threat, but I don't know how Zodiark is really tied into it. I don't know what's going to happen with that. So I'm curious where this forking path is going to like recombine to do that. I really have no idea what the story of Dawn Trail even is. I don't know what threats, what we're going to do in Dawn Trail, but I'm assuming that Endwalker is like the end of this whole like storyline, right? Kind of off his rocker is the kindest possible description of Van Daniel. Yeah, you know, he's out there, okay? I mean, I guess some loose ends could be tied up in Endwalker and into the like the 6.x stuff and into 7. I don't know. Not Endwalker. I'm sorry, Dawn Trail. But based on everybody's reaction, it seems like this is the wrap up. So we'll see. Dan says, I also find it funny how some people call Xenoblade Genesis Xenoblade 4. First of all, it's not part of the numbered series and doesn't even have Chronicles in its name. Secondly, it's not even the 4th game. That would be Torna. Genesis is the 6th game. It's just the first standalone game to be released after XC3, but XCX came out after the first game, and no one calls that Xenoblade 2 either. I also find that funny, Dan. I don't know what to say to any of that. I feel like no one knows. I guess it just depends. I mean, again, it's all an anthology anyway. It doesn't actually like they're all stories in the same, like, I don't know, same realm of possibilities, I guess. From the trailer, the Dawn Trail plot appears to be It's Summer Vacation. Yeah, well, I haven't even seen the Dawn Trail. I mean, I think I probably did see Dawn Trail when it first like was announced, but I remember nothing about it other than the short like clips and I've seen in shows and things like that. I've never sat down and actually watched the whole trailer, so that's why I kind of assume that everything, all this whole like Ascian Zodiac situation is going to be wrapped up at the end of 6.x, right? I'm just confused as to how it does happen. But I mean, we're very early on, right? We're just starting the 82 quest line, so can't be too crazy. Or I mean, we can't have too many answers. Just got a bunch of questions at the moment, but should be a good time. I'm looking forward to how the whole story wraps up, because I imagine we got a lot to do. It just seems like now, I don't know. It seems like a lot has to happen in a very condensed amount of time, I guess is my, I wouldn't say concern, but like my main thought going forward is like, it just seems like this is going to be a huge climax. Like things are going to escalate extremely quickly from here on out. And I just don't know how fast they're going to take off and move on. So, but again, that's kind of what happens when the final like couple chapters of a story, right? We've had all this exposition. We've had all this build up. Now we've got, we're going to hit the climax and then have some quick resolution, I imagine. That's probably where Dawn Trail falls in, is like, Endwalker is going to be like the climax of the story or climax of this arc, and then Dawn Trail's the resolution, right? Like how we move on from the climax, I imagine, is probably how that's supposed to go. If we're like attributing it all to like the arc of a story, you know, the hero's tale kind of situation. But it just seems like a lot has to happen really fast, so I'm curious to know what the turning point is going to be. And I assume it's going to be soon. Sooner than later. I imagine we're going to Garlemald shortly, right? Because of Y'shtola's whole plan. And if that's the case, then I was right about that one, that we are going to Garlemald. I did not know we were going to be sharing that moment with the moon. So I was clearly wrong about that, but either way. That's all I'm going to play today. Let us... let's look at some things. Let's see what the those announcements were. Andy, if I were to search for like, I don't know, do you think there's a place where all that stuff is combined into one? Can I just go with like recent game announcements? I'm sure that would. Summer Game Fest, Xbox Game Showcase, PlayStation State of Play, and then Nintendo, right? That would probably be the things that I care about. Okay, so let's go Summer Game Fest first, because that happened first, I think, right? Summer Game Fest happened 2026. It was the 5th or the 8th. There should be some good summaries out there. Yeah. I gotta dash though, meetings for a while. Okay, well then I'll do this later, because I wasn't gonna do this for you. I'll do it on my own time then. Which is good, because that just means I get to go rest. I get to go lay in bed. Alrighty. Well, yeah, sorry for the shorter stream. I guess it was 3 hours. It wasn't that short. We've made it through. We made it through some stuff. It was a good opening. It was a good stream to come back to. So, thanks for being here, Andy. I appreciate it. Thank you for the well wishes and the kind words. Enjoy your meetings. The rest of this week is probably just going to be spent playing Final Fantasy XIV. It's just an easy game for me to jump into and jump out of if I have to. Dan, thanks for swinging by too. Sorry it was shorter for you. We should be back to somewhat normal, hopefully, over the next couple of days. But we'll see. Hopefully we can lengthen the streams as we go. And then next week, we're probably going to start our new games. I think next week we'll start Kirby. And then we're going to start our redemption games. We're going to swing... firstly, this guy next to us looks like Shadow the Hedgehog. It looks like he has Shadow the Hedgehog hair, doesn't he? You see him? Oh, he's leaving. And he just looks like Shadow the Hedgehog. Anyway, sorry. So next week we'll probably start Kirby and start working on our redemption games. So we have all that stuff. I'm not going to go over all of them, but you can use the checklist command to pull that up if you wish. And then weekends will be Front Mission 5 until we finish the Front Mission series. Like I said, that game is just exhausting. The last few weeks that I was streaming it, the last couple weeks that I was streaming it was just like, it was a lot. Missions were taking like sometimes 2 hours a piece. So I feel like moving that to the weekend will just, it's going to extend the game out, but it gives my brain a break, which is nice. So we'll do that. And then, yeah, August coming up, we'll be doing Final Fantasy August like we always do, because August is the big month for us. We got birthday, streaming anniversary, affiliate anniversary, which is cool. We'll probably wrap up and do another 24-hour stream at the end of that month, but I have no idea what. We'll figure it out soon. But I think that's just about it. So, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for your patience. Sorry I was gone so long. I was house sitting, and then my head decided it wanted to play catch up. So, there we are. Still hurting today, but we made it through. We survived a 3-hour stream. So, anyway, as always, I love you guys. I appreciate you all. Thank you for being here as much as you can be. Thanks for being my friends. We should be back tomorrow at around the same time, 11 a.m. Central Standard, with some more Final Fantasy XIV, and I hope to see you all then. Bye, everybody.
We've all got our own ways, our own methods, the things that keep us going. You don't have to pretend, baby. I know it gets hard. Looking around, you start to think, maybe this isn't what I wanted. But you have to keep going, keep moving on, and don't you ever look back.
2014 was more than a dream. Thoughts of dope were coming back like there was more for the fiend. Skyscraper lightsabers, they was bright than a beam. I repeat the feeling when the time is right when it seems. I crop it right to the cream. Photo fit is supreme. Immaculate the rapping sense, and I'll say that with a gleam. Halo around my head, I hang 'em high with esteem. And if you hating on yourself, you ain't a part of the team, you dig. Yo, boy, you should know, boy. Candy mankind with the flow, boy. About that damn time, it's so, boy. So press play, now it's time to get that dope, boy. Catch me outside another weekend. Going on D&D, now I'm all up in the DM. Travel back in time, quick trip down in the end. Remember why we started with things in Too many times they had to tell him this you should know. Type of patience that'll make you question if he is slow. Earning reps by the day, getting past in a shoal. Arrival at destination wasn't part of the goal, so we panicked like the first time driving parking lots. Visualize a time where he's on a super yacht. Slaved away, so to say he owns the masters of his drops. Now it's Daniel. That be how he trains a thought. Had to stand on a square, so he went back to his roots. Professor called upon the dean when he was lacking salute. Cause it's the intel the incels couldn't compute. Short circuit stuck in the loop. They lie again and again and again. Then again they be acting like hoes. It's killing me how they willingly be acting like bros. They never think to flip the cons like the pros till they turn into foes. But that's just how that goes. Because they lack foresight, the vision is near and crystal clear. It's the same thing year after year. With their backs turned, suddenly a stranger appears. Wait,
You look kind of familiar. I will be fulfilling my destiny. This deal I close. But God is giving me steel in order to heal, I suppose. Go ham, fucking stage. Time to grow, maintain water low, hydro flow. No such thing as plateau. We just blow like it's dope, boy. You should know, boy. Kind with the flow, boy. Too odd like a baby, even flow, boy. Let's not playing, dog. Go and fetch your own toy.
Catch me outside another weekend. Going on D&D, now I'm all up in the DM. Travel back in time, quick trip down in the end. Remember why we started with things that come in the end.
You have a nice time.
We tend to forget what led us to do our favorite things, especially after time passes. Then you start thinking about when it was all simple. Feels like it's only been 5 minutes until finally.
I never explained what big sip meant. And I'm still sipping.
Blacklisted, back twisted, I'm back with the mission. Danny Mac, pass the spliff, play that nuclear fission. Quick to resume.